Your Honor, defense is ready.
Okey-dokey. Bring them in. You did. Are we starting with Spanish? Oh, there. Wow.
Rocket.
Hi, please tell me your name, sir.
What's up? There we go, right?
All right, Mr. Arroyo.
And Your Honor, defense does have a PC challenge only to the resisting without violence.
All right, go ahead. Did he qualify? And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
Your Honor, no objection to the PC challenge for the resisting.
Okay, and nobody's here? All right, I'm going to set bond on, wait, sir, you've been charged with aggravated battery on a pregnant person, domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I'll set bond in the amount of $2,500. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the victim. I'm going to order that you maintain a separate residence, that you comply with any requirements of DCF, that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them in to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration. On count 2, I'll set bond in the amount of ROR. Is the next one called?
Let me see what I'm trying.
Your Honor, may we request a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings from the home?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Sir, you may return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve your personal belongings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Contact law enforcement first, don't just show up. And you'll schedule an appointment with them. The no contact order can be modified in front of your judge at a later date, so talk to your attorney about that, okay? Good luck with everything. They're gonna take you that way.
Your Honor, Bostic Jalen is behavior.
All right,
And Your Honor, if we can appoint the public defender, we can waive his appearance.
yeah, I'll temporarily appoint the Office of the Public Defender.
And Your Honor, we'd ask when setting bond, if you only set it to count 1, I believe an information was filed as to, at least for the felony, as to the aggravated stalking only.
All right, so on the VOP, the judge already has a bond set of $10,000 on the VOP. I don't know if the PD was on the case below, but I'll appoint him for the VOP.
Thank you.
And then, so in the felony, you say that the information was only filed on the aggravated stalking after injunction?
Yes, Your Honor, and if the state wants to confirm.
Yes, Your Honor, that was the only thing that was filed.
Okay, so I'll set bond in the amount of $2,500. No contact, no weapons, no firearms, maintain separate residence, one-time return in the presence of law enforcement officers. Please tell me your name.
Eileen Gunther.
Doesn't qualify or didn't fill out. All right, sir, you do not qualify for the Office of the Public Defender, so I can't appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been accused of child abuse and battery, domestic violence. Ma'am, if you'll please raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Jacqueline Gunther.
State you may inquire.
Thank you. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
How do you know the defendant?
He's my husband.
Do you live together?
Yes.
While this case is pending, do you want to continue living together?
Yes.
And you want to have contact with him? I know that sounds silly, but you want to?
Actually, if I may speak freely,
Of course.
there was no, what is it called? Hitting, violence. There was no domestic violence. There was none of that. I was in a relationship before, and I know what domestic violence is. I would never stand for it. This was a complete and utter misunderstanding. We got back to our resort. We were unwinding, and we had a tiny bickerman and a couple drinks, and I actually ended up getting my PTSD, and I called the police because we're not used to arguing like that. We never do. We've been together for 16 years. We have 2 children. They don't even receive spankings. We don't even spank our children.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
yeah.
I think we're good. I don't need any more facts for this limited proceeding. Did you have any additional questions, Ms. Eugene?
Just to confirm, you're from Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
and you intend on returning there?
Oh yeah, today.
Okay,
Yes.
no further questions. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, based on the testimony, do you have any recommendations on the bond?
No recommendations on the bond, Your Honor, but I would have no objection to no hostile contact, and no objection to travel outside of the jurisdiction.
Okay, I'll set a bond on the amount of count 1 and $1,000, count 2, $150, and I'll require that you have no hostile contact with the alleged victims. I will authorize you to travel. If you can hire an attorney here in the state of Florida, they can waive your appearance as long as your attorney appears in court. So this court has no objection to you traveling. You still have to make all of your court appearances. I am going to order, though, that you not possess any weapons or firearms, and that if you have any in your home location, that you turn them into your local sheriff's department within 4 hours of your return back to Pennsylvania. Where was it?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh, return to Pittsburgh. All right, thank you. Please follow the officer out the blue door. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Dusty Peltz.
All right, Mr. Peltz, you do qualify for public defender, so I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with carrying a concealed firearm in violation of a domestic injunction. I don't see anybody here to testify on the case. So I'll set bond in the amount of $2,500 on count 2, the violation of domestic injunction, and $250 on count 1, the carrying a concealed firearm. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you maintain a separate residence, that you not possess any weapons or firearms. To the extent you still have any, you need to turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration. Because this was an injunction, I'm hopeful that you already have a separate residence, but I will order that you maintain a separate residence and that you can return one time in the presence of law enforcement to retrieve your personal belongings. Anything else, State?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Anything else, Defense?
No, Your Honor. No contact. No contact. Go that way. Good luck. Talk to your attorney about any questions you have.
All right, please tell me your name.
My name is Yadira Pichardo.
All right, Ms. Pichardo, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Sir, please raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Jose Pichardo.
Sir, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Eugene, you may inquire of Mr. Pichardo.
Good morning, sir. How do you know the defendant?
This is my daughter.
She's your...
My daughter.
Do you live together?
Yes.
While this case is pending, do you want to continue living together?
Yes.
You want to continue having contact with her?
Yes.
You appear to have some facial injuries. Your eye is swollen and you have a Band-Aid. Can you tell me how that occurred?
We had an altercation. She punched me in the face.
Okay. She punched you with her fist, or did she use something to hit you with?
She punched me with her face.
Okay. Has something like this happened before?
No.
Were drugs or alcohol involved in this incident?
No.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Sir, I just have one other question. If something like this happens again, will you call law enforcement officers?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Pichardo, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,500. I'm going to require that you have no hostile contact with your father. I'm going to require that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of release from incarceration.
Your Honor, if I may be heard, the defense is assuming that the alleged victim will potentially be assisting with bond. And the defense did want to clarify that the alleged deadly weapon, though it says a gun,
It was a caulk gun, I read it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was clear. We would just be asking if Your Honor would be willing to reduce the bond due to the lack of history and the mental illness that was stated within the police report, as well as the fact that likely the victim will be the one posting the bond due to the nature of their relationship.
Any objection, State?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, I'll reduce it to 1,500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for coming in, sir.
Okay. So no physical contact, no anger, no elevation, or you'll be in violation. You can be rearrested, okay? Good luck with everything.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
Omar Raymond Jalvin?
And Your Honor, we'll waive reading on this one.
He doesn't qualify for a public defender.
Understood, Your Honor.
I'll still waive the reading. This is a PBL though, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay, ma'am,
Yes.
if you'll please raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Ms. Violeta Ramos.
All right, since I'm not going to set any bond, I don't know if you want to hear from her, just I'll order no contact. Given the nature of the allegations and
I
the
won't go into any
family.
great detail.
Okay.
Just so she can be heard, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yeah, Your Honor, I asked for a psychological evaluation for him. He is a good kid. He graduated from high school. He has a job. He said he's not sure why he did it. And I just want a fair. I want you guys to be fair.
I think that's 600. All right, actually, we've re-looked at the affidavit, and he does qualify, we read it wrong. So I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Man, I know this is incredibly difficult. I read the entire police report, and I understand this is a difficult situation for your family. I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent your son, and they'll take whatever steps they deem necessary, including any evaluations that they think are necessary. Based on the charge that your son's been charged with, it will be held without bond at this time. The attorney's forum can get with the assigned judge at a later date, but for purposes of today, I'm going to set bond in the amount of none, and I am going to order that he not have any contact with the alleged victim, and I'll allow him to continue to have contact with you if you want that.
Okay, yes.
But just no contact with the victim. And then the Office of the Public Defender will investigate the case. I'm sure they'll be speaking to you, and they'll determine what's the most appropriate thing to do going forward.
Yes.
All right, I appreciate you coming in today. I know this is extremely difficult. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, defense would reserve the right to have an Arthur hearing downtown.
Absolutely.
No bond today because it's punishable by life, so you're gonna have to talk to your attorney about getting bond. Okay? That's what I was talking about back there. Good luck with everything, okay? Good luck.
Please tell me your name.
Tanisha Chandler.
All right, ma'am, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with battery, domestic violence. I don't see anyone here. Do you, I don't know if you reside, I know it was your sister, I don't know if you reside together?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, and you do qualify for pretrial release. Pretrial release is a program that's run by the Orange County Corrections Department, and it's a mechanism for you to be released from incarceration without posting a monetary bond. However, you do have to comply with all of the conditions of PTR, including meeting on a regular basis with a PTR officer. Would you like to participate in that program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll release you under PTR. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the victim, that you maintain a separate residence, that you not possess any weapons or firearms, and if you have any weapons or firearms, that you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
You also got, and Your Honor, you appointed the public defender?
Yes.
You also got the public defender's.
She can have a may return one time.
I'm sorry, what?
Return one time.
They don't live.
They don't reside together.
Have anything at her home, correct?
Thank you.
Okay. Call them when you get out to see who your attorney is, that way you can stay in touch, yeah, when you get out.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Good morning, my name is Pedro Corzone.
All right, Mr. Corzone, you did not complete the paperwork. Did you want to see if you've been charged with battery, domestic violence? Did you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
No, I was just thinking if I really need to, I'll get an attorney later.
All right, well, it's a serious offense. It is a first-degree misdemeanor punishable by 1 year in the Orange County Jail, a fine of up to $1,000, and probation for up to 1 year. So it is a serious offense. If you wanted to see if you qualify for a public defender, I could find out right now, or you can wait. It's up to you.
I think I'm okay right now.
Okie dokie. So you've been charged with battery, domestic violence. There's nobody here. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you maintain a separate residence. You may return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve your personal belongings. I'm going to order that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them in to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours from release and incarceration. And I do see that there were children there, so if DCF is involved, I'm going to require that you comply with any requirements of DCF.
Okay, and how long is the stay away for?
I'm sorry, what?
How long do I have to stay away for?
Until a judge orders otherwise.
And Your Honor, as a friend of the court, I just want to make sure the no contact order is clear. It's not just staying away, it's no contact, no reaching out.
Thank you. You can't call, text, Facebook,
I got it.
use other people to contact the victim. No contact means no contact.
Okay.
Please follow the officer out the blue door. Thank you. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
My name is Calmar Figueroa.
Mr. Figueroa, you do qualify for public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. This is via warrant, so a judge previously found probable cause. You've been charged with battery, domestic violence, and you do qualify for pretrial release. That's a program that's run by the Orange County Corrections Office. It allows you to be released from incarceration without posting a monetary bond. You do have to comply with all of the conditions of PTR, including meeting with a pretrial release officer on a regular basis. Did you want to participate in that program?
No, it's okay. I'll take the bail.
A monetary bond?
Monetary
He's
bond?
stating he'd like a monetary bond, Your
All right,
Honor.
I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you maintain a separate residence. You may return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve your personal belongings. I'm going to order that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them in to the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration. Please follow the officer out the blue door. Please step forward and tell me your name.
You can say your name.
Cecilia
Full name.
Leak.
Ms. Leek, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with battery, dating violence. You do qualify for a pretrial release. Did you just hear me talk about it, or do you need me to say it again?
Your Honor, if you can say it again, please.
Sure, no problem. So PTR is a program that's run by the Orange County Corrections Department. It allows you to be released from incarceration without posting a monetary bond. You do have to comply with all of the conditions of PTR, including meeting with an officer on a regular basis. Did you want to participate in that program?
Or whatever monetary bond the judge puts on you, and then you have to pay the monetary bond. Or you can get released without paying money, but you have to report and stay in touch with your officer. You live elsewhere? It should be able to. PTR, if she were to move to St. Augustine, that wouldn't be an issue. Okay. Does that change anything? It won't be an issue with pretrial release. Did you want to do the monetary bond or the pretrial release?
And I did speak with her father, and we were trying to do the PTR forward. He was recommending PTR, if the judge permits.
Yep. Your Honor, she'll do pretrial release.
All
And
right.
if we can just request that she be allowed to travel to St. Augustine.
All right, we'll release you under PTR. I'll allow you to travel back and forth from St. Augustine. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you maintain a separate residence. You may return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve your personal belongings. I'm going to order that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County or your local sheriff's office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration, or within 4 hours of your return to St. Augustine if the weapons are there.
Also stay in touch with your public defender. That's what that one is. So it's a different person. You have two people. Pretrial release, public defender, your attorney. Good luck.
All right, sir, please step forward and tell me your name.
Jose Perez.
Mr. Perez, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $1,500. The affidavit did indicate that children were present, so if DCF has been involved, I'm gonna require that you comply with any requirements of DCF. I'm gonna order that you have no contact with the alleged victim. I'm gonna order that you maintain a separate residence. You may return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve your personal belongings. I'm going to order that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration.
Yes, ma'am.
Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Yes, good luck
Donna
with everything. Stay
Julianne
in touch with
Phillips
us,
is
okay?
mental health.
All right, we'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll find probable cause. I'll set bond in the amount of $1,500. No contact with the victim, separate residence, return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers, no weapons, no firearms, surrender within 4 hours of release.
Later on the BOP. Okay? Talk to your attorney about it more. And that was 1,500, Your Honor?
Yes,
And I apologize if I didn't state it, but we are fine with waiving
thank you.
Ms. Phillips' appearance. Mr. Phillips, Ms. Phillips, yes.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Diana Saranquia Alexander, medical.
All right, it's an out-of-county warrant, and the judge in that case has set bond in the amount of $500 already. Please step forward and tell me your name.
Jason DeLeon.
Mr. De Leon, so this is a warrant out of Osceola County, and the judge in that case has set bond in the amount of none. We'll notify Osceola that you're here, and they'll have 24 hours to pick you up. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Anthony Pugh is TOT to Seminole.
Okay, what's that mean?
He's already being transported.
Thank you. All right, please step forward and tell me your name.
Brittany Coleman.
All right, Ms. Coleman, did you want, this is a violation of probation. Did you want the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the VOP, or are you gonna get a private attorney?
Your Honor, I believe I saw a notice of appearance unless I was wrong. But did you?
I didn't know if that was the underlying action or if that was the VOP.
For the VOP?
Yes, ma'am.
It does seem like she has a private attorney for the violation of probation.
Okay, all right, that's fine then. The judge in that case has set bond in the amount of none. So that's what the bond is. Yes. right, we'll do the, you want to do the 33s now or at the end? Or we can do them at the end.
We do have a plea that was set this morning, Your Honor. I just want to make sure that one's on.
Yeah. Is that the plea?
Yeah, and it's already, her attorney's already gone over it with her public defender downtown. I just need her to sign it, and then we are good to go.
Okay.
Ms. Williams, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're gonna sign right here. This is an enhanceable offense, which I'm sure your attorney talked to you about. Picking them up, it could become a felony. It's also a crime of dishonesty or
Counsel, will you please approach?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Eugene, do you want to hear this? It's okay. All right, Ms. Williams, I'm holding up a plea agreement form. You had the opportunity to go over this form with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any questions? From where you're standing, is that your signature on the form? Are you under the influence today of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your thinking?
No, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you to enter into this plea agreement today? Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, entering into this plea agreement will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation for any other offense?
No, ma'am.
On the charge of petty theft, how do you plead? No contest?
No contest.
I'm sorry. No contest.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to withhold adjudication. I'm going to assess mandatory court costs. I'm going to require that you not return to the location 8101 South John Young Parkway. As to the financial obligations, I'll give you 6 months to pay that off. If for any reason you're unable to pay it off within that time, you must report to the Orange County Clerk of Court and set up a payment plan.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Please follow the officer out the blue door. Look, they didn't say that. Counsel, did you want to give her credit for time served? I think she had like 30 days on
Yes,
it.
Your Honor, we can do credit for time served.
All right, we'll give you credit for time served.
I just copied exactly what was emailed to me. I apologize.
That's why I took it, because it was M2 and she already had over 30 days. All right, so on the 33-day motion, State of Florida versus Angel Cabre.
23 CF 5294, granted, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Pompey.
23 CF 5264, granted, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Dondrick Beyond Hooks.
23 CF 5269, granted, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Krishan Manuel Barnes.
23 CF 5196, granted, case was no billed.
State of Florida versus Terry Pettit.
23 MM 2485, granted, case, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Alexis Luis Negron Rodriguez.
23 CF 5308, granted, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Robert Daniel Shockneys.
23 CF 3580, granted, notice of non-filing.
State of Florida versus Robert Daniel Shockneys.
23 CF 188, granted, notice of non-filing.
Your Honor, for the second session, there were a few plea offers I didn't have the chance to go over with everyone in the back. Just as a heads up to the court.
Okay. I'll give you, you know, whenever they come up, I'll give you a little bit of time to chat with them.
Rahman here, and then Raham. And then Power.
Okay, he's in the side sale. And, should be.
And Your Honor, I apologize, were you saying a moment to speak now or as we go?
You want, can you do it as we go, or do you want to?
I should be able to do it as we
Okay.
go, and if we need to move someone to the side for a moment, I can let you know.
Okay. You ready?
Well, we have my officer, he went to update to see who,
Okay, all right.
we have a few people didn't made it yet.
Sure, you tell me whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I might as well.
We'll go off the record for a moment. Do we know if the PD was already appointed on this felony?
Good morning. This is Daryl Rodriguez, certified Spanish interpreter.
Good morning, Mr. Rodriguez. This is Judge Caraballo. We're at the BRC. The defendant has the headsets on. If you can please make contact.
This interpreter connection's been established, and just for the record, I have not been previously sworn yet.
You have not been?
Yes, I have not been.
Oh, okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, testimonies given?
I do.
All right, please have the defendant state his name.
Osmel Amaro.
Osmel Amaro.
And this is case number 2023-CF1985AO. Mr. Amaro, you're here under a failure to appear warrant issued by the judge who set bond in the amount of none, and you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you.
Okay.
All right, please take off the headsets and follow the officer out the blue door. All right, the defendant has the headsets on.
Sí, escucho.
This is interpreter connection established.
Please have the defendant state his name.
Camilo Fernández López.
Camilo Fernandez Lopez.
This is case number 2023-CF354AO. All right, Mr. Fernandez, it looks like you already have regional conflict counsel assigned to your case, and this is a failure to appear warrant, and the judge in your case has set bond in the amount of none. All right, please remove the headsets and follow the officer out the blue door.
And Your Honor, the next one has an offer to resolve.
All right, and that's all we had for Spanish. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye. Did you need a minute with him on the trespass?
Your Honor, I was able to speak with him in the back and explain the offer of an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return to 7-Eleven at 605 West Colonial Drive, and I did also read him his rights on the plea form.
2 days.
And if I may approach with the plea form.
You may. All right, Mr. Bookert, I'm holding up a plea agreement form. You had the opportunity to go over this form with the attorney.
You have to answer out loud. You have to say yes or no.
I see you're nodding your head in the affirmative, but I need you to actually say the words, yes or no.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And from where you're standing, is that your signature that you put on the form?
You have to say yes or no.
Yes?
Yes.
Are you under the influence today of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your thinking? No? I see you're shaking your head no, but I actually need the words.
No.
Is anybody forcing you to enter into this plea agreement today? Again, sir, I need the words.
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, entering into this plea agreement will subject you to deportation? Yes? I see you're nodding your head in the affirmative. Are you currently on probation for any other offense? Again, you nodded your head in the negative, so is that no? All right, sir, on the charge of trespass on property after warning, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to give you credit for time served of 2 days. I'm going to assess mandatory court costs, which I'll reduce to a civil penalty. And because you resolved it, I'm not going to take any action on the 2 out on bonds, but they weren't filed on yet anyway. I'd reviewed them prior. All right, thank you, sir. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Your Honor, the next one on the docket, or the move-up list, also has an offer to resolve. However, I did not have an opportunity to convey this one.
Okay, do you need a moment to chat with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
So you're here for initial appearance for a trespass, okay? You have an offer to resolve your case. It's adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and no return to where this incident happened, okay? You can take this plea offer if you wish. You also have a bond of $500.
This one got 2 days.
You can speak with an attorney in more detail. If you want to fight the charges against, it's up to you. Did you take this plea offer today, or what did you want to do? Okay. So when you take a plea offer, first of all, you give up certain rights. You give the right to have a trial before jury, your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I know, and I just want to make sure you got it, okay? I'm just going to go over it quickly. You give it the right to have an attorney appointed to you if you cannot afford one. You give up your right to cross-examine, confront evidence and witnesses at trial, or to present any evidence or witnesses of your own at trial. You give the right to testify or to remain silent as you choose. Your right to make a complete record of the court proceedings with a court reporter. The right to appeal any harmful error. You're not on probation? No. You're a U.S. citizen? If you weren't, you could be deported for this, okay? This is punishable up to 1 year, $1,000 fine, or 1 year probation. If you have any sexually violent or sexually motivated offenses in your history, any plea can result in your involuntary civil commitment. Judge wants to make sure that you're doing this freely, voluntarily, knowingly, of your own free will. You're not under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, medication, or mental illness that affect your understanding. Okay? Any questions? No. Okay. And Your Honor, he'd like to resolve his case with that adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return. Oh, I apologize. I got a little ahead of myself, and he does need to sign it. No return to the scene.
I've got it.
Oh, perfect. And I just need to add the case number.
All right, Mr. Rahman, are you under the influence today of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your thinking?
No, ma'am.
Is anybody forcing you to enter into this plea agreement today?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, entering into this plea agreement will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation for any other offense?
No.
On the charge of trespass on property after warning, how do you plead?
No contest.
I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to give you credit for time served of 2 days. I require that you not return to the Publix located at 12195 South Orange Blossom Trail. I'm going to assess mandatory court costs, which I'll reduce to a civil judgment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Everything, you're going to go that way, okay?
Please tell me your name, sir.
Juan Correa Betancourt.
All right, sir, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. This is a capias for grand theft 3rd degree, and the judge has set bond in the amount of $5,000.
So the bond's not going to change.
And the judge also required that you have no contact with the alleged victim and that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of release from incarceration.
Thank you. Good luck with
Thank you. Please follow the officer out the blue door. All right, sir, please tell me your name.
John Jordan.
Mr. Jordan, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of oxycodone, and I'll stay the bond at $1,000. Now, he's out on ROR on a trespass. And I don't know if you want to resolve that today, just get that pled out, or you want to wait and let him resolve it in the division?
Your Honor, I did review the information. If he wanted to, it would be an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the Wawa located at 8574 South Orange Blossom Trail. He has pretrial set for July 12th.
You're out on bond, so that's not the felony. It wouldn't change anything. But there's a chance she revokes your out on bond too. I'm not saying.
Yes.
Your Honor, he does wish to resolve that out on bond case, the 2022 MM case, with the adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return.
Okay.
And I do just want to confirm something, and I will grab a plea form for him to start reviewing as well.
Madam Clerk, can you tell me what the credit time served is for the out on bond 22 MM 8283? How
3
many?
days?
Thank you.
10 days.
So when you take a plea offer, when you take a plea offer, you give up certain rights, okay? I'm going to advise you plead no contest. That's a softball case. I'm not saying you did or didn't do it, just saying. When you take a plea offer, you give right to have a trial by judge or jury. Your right to have an attorney appointed to you if you cannot afford one, if you don't already have one. Your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Your right to confront and cross-examine witnesses and evidence at trial or present any of your own witnesses or evidence at trial. This is all your trial rights, okay? You give up your right to remain silent or to testify as you choose. Your right to have a court reporter make a complete record of the court proceedings. Your right to appeal any harmful error to the higher court. A trespass is a first-degree misdemeanor punishable to a maximum 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine or 1 year probation. Obviously, with resolving this case, that's not what you're getting today. You're not on probation? Okay. You were on probation. I tell you, don't take this plea. It will violate your probation. You're a U.S. citizen? If you weren't, I would tell you you can get reported, okay? You're doing this freely, voluntarily, knowingly, of your own free will. Do you have any questions about the plea? Okay. So I'm going to have you sign this. And thank you, Your Honor, for your patience. You're going to sign right here. So again, this is only that misdemeanor case. You're still going to have the one you're here for today to handle.
All right, Mr. Jordan, are you under the influence today of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your thinking? Is anybody forcing you to enter into this plea agreement today? Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, entering into this plea agreement will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation for any other offense?
No.
On the charge of trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance, how do you plead? I'll accept your plea of no contest. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to give you credit for time served of 10 days. I'm going to assess mandatory court costs, which I'll reduce to a civil judgment. I'm going to require that you not return to the Wawa located at 8574 South Orange Blossom Trail. And so that resolves that case, but you still have the one that you were arrested on today, your possession of oxycodone, and then I set the bond at 1,000 in that one.
Do you have questions about what happened? Because I know that might have been unexpected for today.
Yeah, we went kind of fast. You got it?
Okay. So you're out on bond. The misdemeanor case is done, closed, and you still have that felony. Good luck.
All right, ma'am, please tell me your name.
Farina Kuhn.
Ms. Kuhn, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with grand theft, third degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
And Your Honor, there is a PC argument just to the drug paraphernalia.
Okay.
And Your Honor, with regards to the drug paraphernalia, according to the police report, they found metal spoons and empty syringes. However, there was nothing else to indicate that those were being used for drug usage. Those are things that can be used for everyday usage and medical usage, and for those reasons, we'd argue no probable cause to the paraphernalia.
State.
Your Honor, as the defendant does not have any drug history, I have no objection.
All right, I'll stay the bond at 1,000 on the grand theft, third degree, and on the possession of drug paraphernalia, I won't find PC, so I'll ROR.
And no return, Your Honor?
Yes, no return to the, what was it, Walmart?
That's an auto? Well, yes, a Walmart, Your Honor.
Yeah, no return to the Walmart.
So what that means, just so you're aware, hold on. You're gonna get a
Your Honor,
bond
Brian Jamaria
on one of
bonded.
your charges of $1,000.
Okay.
So you can bond out at $1,000. The other charge, the judge found there wasn't a probable cause to hold you, so you're getting released on that one, but you're staying. Okay? It just depends. You'll have to talk to.
Didn't fill it out or doesn't qualify?
Talk to your attorney, okay?
You have a number I can.
That phone number right there, and also the jail will let you know there's ways you can jail mail and contact your attorney, and you can just ask them, okay? Good luck.
Sir, please step forward and tell me your name.
And Your Honor, I apologize, there was one that didn't.
Bonded.
My name
Oh,
is
bonded.
Champagne Stanley.
All right, Mr. Champagne, you do not qualify for a public defender. You've been charged with battery. I find probable cause, I'll stay the bond in the amount of $500. I require that you have no contact with the alleged victim, that you not possess any weapons or firearms, that if you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration.
All right.
Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Gibson, Tessier, refuse.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. I'll stay the bond in the amount of $500. So on the felony that she's out on bond is set for trial on June 5th. Did you want me to take any action, State?
No, Your Honor, only because they go through pretrial diversion, so.
Okay.
No, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I won't take any action on the out on bonds.
What happened with Charles?
Cash bond.
All right, please tell me your name.
Sebastian Rios.
Mr. Rios, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with battery. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bond in the amount of $500. I'm going to require that you not return to the racetrack located at 6793 East Colonial Drive, that you have no contact with the alleged victim and witnesses, that you not possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, you must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of your release from incarceration. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Good luck with everything.
Please tell me your name. Mr. Runyon, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with petty theft and resisting an officer without violence. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds. $500 count one, $100 count two. No return to the scene. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Good luck.
Please tell me your name.
Jason Stevens.
Mr. Stevens, you did not complete an affidavit. Did you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
I would prefer to try to take care of it today. It's one petty theft. I've never been in trouble here before.
All right, so yeah, you've been charged with petty theft of $100 or more. State, did you have an offer if you wanted to resolve it today?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Stevens' last conviction was for petty theft with 2 priors, so this is something that is enhanceable. No offer was made.
All right, so Mr. Stevens, petty theft is an enhanceable offense. If you are convicted of petty theft 2 occasions and you commit another act of petty theft, it can be charged as a felony. It looks like in your criminal history, that you have 2 prior convictions. So the state may upgrade this to a felony. So they're not willing to make an offer at this time. Would you like to see if you qualify for a public defender now?
Yes.
Okay, are you working? Do you have any income?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. I'll stay the bond at $500 and require that you not return to the Walmart at 8990 Turkey Lake Road.
And you said 500, Your Honor. Take this with you.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Thank you.
Colleen Wattenpool.
All right, Ms. Wattenpool, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with petty theft and resisting an officer without violence. I find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds, count 1, 250, count 2, 500, and require that you not return to the Walmart at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail.
Okay. In touch with our office if you bought that, so we can keep you informed of any future updates. You're gonna go that way, actually.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
I'm Alfred Bugiero.
All right, sir, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with petty theft of $100 or more. I find probable cause. I'll stay the bond in the amount of $500 and require that you not return to the Walmart located at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. Thank you, sir. Please follow the officer out the door.
You have a $500 bond.
All right, sir, please tell me your name.
William Power.
Mr. Power, so you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender on the new law, the trespassing on structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause. I'll stay the bond at $500, require that you not return to the 7-Eleven at 4690 South Kirkman Road. And I'm going to reassign that case to Division 81. The 2023 MM 36130, I'm reassigning to Division 81.
Would that put both cases in the same
Yes.
division? Your Honor, he did have a offer to resolve the case he has a bond on, not the one with no bond, so it might be best if he resolves it all together in that situation.
Yeah, that's why I moved it over to 81.
Thank you. I didn't have a chance to explain that to him, though.
So on you, in your other case, in Judge Walker's division is a warrant for your failure to appear, and the judge in that case set the bond at none. So they'll get you scheduled for a hearing and get you transported over there so you can get them wrapped up.
So the bond is what? Confused, huh?
Yeah, no.
So-
You have another case.
Yeah.
And out on bond, they got filed on, he must have made the failure to appear at no bond in that case, okay? For bond of $500, there's an offer to resolve that, you're still gonna be held under no bond. Judge moved your new case into the same division as the no bond case, the old case, so you can try and resolve it all together. Okay? Does
Okay.
that make sense now?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Because I didn't get information that that was filed.
And you'll have to talk to your attorney about that, so they'll
Okay.
explain that to you and see if they can do any bond, okay?
Okay.
Brian Lania, bonded.
Okay, thank you.
Brian Sanaya, bonded.
Thank you.
Marsha Christopher, medical.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. I'll stay the bond in the amount of 1,000.
And that's for Tolado?
Marshall.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, why
Christopher
didn't
Marshall.
he show up?
Wait,
Medical?
Medical.
Thank you.
Marshall was medical?
Yeah, for Marshall.
I had on my notes he bonded. Okay. And it was $500?
What, it's a DUI 1,000.
I see, I see. I don't know how I overlooked that.
Is this Mr. Tolato?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Tolato, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. So you have a new law violation of driving while license suspended, and I'll stay the bond in 500. And then you have a failure to appear warrant, and the judge in that case has set bond in the amount of 1,000.
All right, take this with you.
Qualifies? Albuquerque. Please tell me your name.
Matt Albuquerque Jr.
All right, sir, it looks like you already have a regional conflict counsel assigned to your case. This is a failure to appear warrant, and the judge in your case has set bond in the amount of none.
900?
None.
None.
None. You're not.
Yeah, that's we refuse.
All right, on Alicia, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll stay the bond at 1,000 and, do you want me to do anything? I mean, the other ones, it has been filed on, it's the same offense. She's out on a $1,000 bond, and that one, just nothing. Okay, I won't take any action on the out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we will waive her appearance.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Charlie Lamar Allen.
Sir, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of methamphetamine, possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds. Count 1, 1,000. Count 2, 1,000. Count 3, 500. And I won't take any action on the out on bond case. It hasn't been filed on yet.
Look at everything. Take this with you.
Your Honor, Atwell Cornell, refuse.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll find probable cause. On count 1, it's no bond. On count 2, I'll stay the bond at 150. And the out on bond hasn't been filed on yet, so I won't take any action.
And Your Honor, we'll waive his appearance and just reserve our right to have an Arthur hearing downtown.
Right, and no contact with the victims, no weapons, no firearms.
Belen Corey, refuse.
You said Bentley? Oh, sorry. I misunderstood what you said. I thought you said Bettencourt. All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll stay the bonds. The judge in the failure to appear set bond at 2,000, and the capias on the felony, the judge put bond at 100. Please tell me your name.
Austin Bradshaw.
All right, Mr. Bradshaw. You do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll find probable cause, stay the bond in the amount of 1,000. Now, he is out on ROR on the disorderly, and he's participating in the city PTD. And I don't know if they finished it. I know that the city's PTD, they can't get in any trouble, so it's probably gonna be revoked. But I won't take any action for right now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just make sure, Mr. Bradshaw, if you have an attorney in that MO case, make sure you stay in contact with the attorney, because there likely is going to be some additional things happening in that case now.
So what's going on?
So you're here for the new law. She gave you a $1,000 bond. Okay. And then you're out on bond for that disorderly conduct, the MO case, which looks like you were doing a pretrial diversion. What she's telling you is when you pick up a new law offense, you might get kicked out of it. So you just got to stay in touch with your attorney on both cases to see what happens. That way you don't miss anything or any court dates and get picked up. Okay? Good luck with everything.
I think the city is only 90 days, but I don't know if he's in the 90 days or not. All right, please tell me your name.
Francis Cavanagh.
Ms. Cavanagh, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. You've been charged with prostitution, lewdness. I'll stay the bond at 1,000.
The $1,000, just talk to your attorney in more detail about what that means.
Cordon Aaron, mental health.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds and require that he not return to the Murphy's Gas at 5736 South Orange Blossom Trail, that he not have any contact with the victim, the witnesses, and the one victim's husband. No weapons, no firearms.
What was it, mental health? I'm sorry. Thank you.
Please tell me your name.
Christopher Douglas. Christopher Douglas.
All right, Mr. Douglas, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with attempted carjacking and resisting an officer without violence. Counsel, you're making a face. Are you going to argue something?
No, Your Honor, I believe this came in through a warrant. I was just going to ask if, due to his lack of history, if we can reduce the bond by any chance. It appears that he does not have any in-state history and limited out-of-state history, and we would just ask for those reasons if it can be reduced.
State has no objection, Your Honor. 10,000?
All right, so I'll reduce the bond on count 1 to 10,000, and I'll stay the bond on count 2 at 100.
No contact and no return?
Yes, no contact with the alleged victims, no return to the scene, no weapons, no firearms.
So your bond.
No form.
Thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Sean Leonard Glenn.
Mr. Glenn, you didn't complete the form. Did you want to see if you qualify for a public defender, or you're going to get private counsel? Okay,
Your
so,
Honor, just as a friend of the court, defense did have a PC argument to the intent to sell portion.
Nope. Nope.
too bad. All right, so you have multiple cases here. So we've got burglary of a conveyance and criminal mischief. Everything is by, well, not everything. Those two are by a warrant. That's 2023 CF 50770. So a judge previously found probable cause. I'll stay the bonds at $3,500 on count 1, $100 on count 2. Then we'll go down to case number 2023 182247. That is also by a warrant, so a judge previously found probable cause. We got burglary of a conveyance. I'll stay the bond at $2,500. Grand theft, 3rd degree, I'll stay the bond at $2,500. And criminal mischief, I'll stay the bond at 2023, I don't know, it's got 00. I don't know what that means. 182247. Yeah, that's, oh, no, look, that's not what it says. 695. Okay, so that case is 2023 CF 6956AO. All right, and I'll stay those bonds. And then it's an arrest affidavit for possession of cocaine with intent to sell within 1,000 feet of a school. So actually, I had a question on this one too, because it was a car crash and they were within, it says it was a traffic stop, and it says the vehicles came to at within 1,000 feet of Jones High School, and 14 grams were in the car, but it was just a crash out in front of the school. Is that intent to sell? They don't.
No, I think it's the 14 grams, Your Honor, is the intent to sell. I think what really bumps this up is because of where the crash occurred. I believe the intent of the statute was not to be dealing outside of convenience stores and schools and what have you. This just happened to be outside of a school.
I'll set bond in the amount of $5,000 on that one. All right, and so on each of those, sir, you're no contact with the alleged victims and no return to the scene.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please follow the officer out the blue door.
Green is medical, Your Honor?
Green? All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds, 1,000 count one, 100 on count two. And I'm going to revoke the ROR and set bond in the amount of 1,000 on the 22 CF 13676.
And Your Honor, just via the new case law, we would object via Benowit and ask if you have permission from that judge to revoke the bond.
I do.
Thank you, Your
I have
Honor.
expressed authorization to do so.
Harmon, refuse.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll stay the bonds. It was $250 on the Eola Park after hours, 1,000 on possession of meth, 1,000 on possession of cocaine, and 1,000 on destroying evidence.
Your Honor, with regard to the MO, if that could be a no return?
Yeah, no return to the park? Yes.
And did you also have a violation of probation as out of county?
Yeah, so it's a Lake County case, but it's not, so it's an on view.
Okay.
What appeal you do? Yeah, okay, so I'll find a violation of probation, set bond in the amount of none. Please tell me your name.
Candace Hess, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with burglary of a conveyance. I'll stay the bond in the amount of $7,000. No contact with the alleged victims, no return, no weapons, no firearms.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Take this with you. Oops, sorry. Good luck with everything.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Mr. Craig Hughley.
Mr. Hewley, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of cocaine. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bond in the amount of 1,000. And the other case hasn't been filed on, so I won't take any action.
Thank you.
Please follow the officer out the blue door.
You got a bond on this one? She's not revoking your bond on the other one, okay? 1,000, and then she's not touching the out on bond, so no action, okay? You have a bond.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Terrell Hunt, ma'am, sorry.
All right, Mr.
Yeah,
Hunt,
doing
you
it
do
there.
qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. So this is a capias, and the judge set bond in the amount of 1,000. And no return.
$1,000. This is our number. Stay in touch with us when you bond out. If you're not able to, talk to your attorney about your options, okay? Good luck with everything.
Okay, please tell me your name.
Laura Hurst.
Ms. Hurst, you did not complete a form. Did you want to see if you qualify for a public defender?
No, I'm going to have representation.
Okay,
Just the time difference between,
all right. And so you've been charged, you have providing a false registration, failure to report, and two failure to reports. So I'll set bond in the amount of $2,500 on count one, $150 on count two, $150 on count three, and I'll require that you report to the nearest sheriff's substation and register within 4 hours of your release from incarceration. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
thank you.
Thank you. Please tell me your name.
Dean Eibel.
Mr. Eibel, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of meth and possession of cocaine. I'll find probable cause and I'll stay the bonds. Count one, 1,000, count two, 150.
Yeah.
Highly unlikely. Your Honor, he's asking if you could be released ROR.
That was, yeah.
Don't say anything about the case.
Stay.
No, state would object, Your Honor.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of criminal history listed here. And looks like 7 FTAs. So no,
Thank
no
you, Your Honor.
ROR.
So talk to your attorney more about it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get no FT.
I know, they're old FTAs. You'll have to talk to your attorney about it, okay? Good luck.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Jeremiah Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with attempted burglary of a conveyance and resisting an officer without violence. You do qualify for pretrial release. So this is a program that's run by the Orange County Corrections Department, and it allows you to be released from incarceration without posting a monetary bond. You do have to comply with all of the requirements of PTR, including meeting with a PTR officer on a regular basis. Did you want to participate in that program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll release you under PTR. I'm going to require that you have no contact with the alleged co-defendant, that you not return to the scene, that you have no contact with the alleged victims, and that you not possess any weapons or firearms.
Yes, ma'am.
Johnson Ayana, refuse.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds. 1,000.
I apologize. I was speaking with the other client. I did have a probable cause argument for Johnson as to the possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia.
No objection.
Okay. So, on the count 2, the prostitution, I'll set bond in the amount of 1,000 and I'll ROR on the other 2 counts.
Thank you.
And I'll take no action on the MM case.
And PD was appointed?
Yes.
Thank you. And we'll waive appearance. And then for Mr. Kennedy, I also have a probable cause argument to.
Kennedy, what's your PC challenge?
Yes, Your Honor. One moment. Your Honor, with regards to Mr. Kennedy, there's no probable cause to establish the possession of MDMA and the possession of MDMA specifically. Allegedly, drug paraphernalia was found with residue. Besides the residue to test the drug paraphernalia, it appears as though nothing else was found. Therefore, we don't believe there is enough probable cause for the possession.
Your Honor, the drug paraphernalia was tested, and that's how they established it was drug paraphernalia because it was positive for the MDMA. The officer saw the pipe in the defendant's hand, and he threw it behind him. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna find probable cause. I'll stay the bond in count 1 of 1,000, but I'll reduce the count 2 and 3 to 150 each.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. And PD appointed?
PD appointed.
Take this with you, Mr. Kennedy. Good luck with everything.
Please tell me your name.
Angela King.
All right, Ms. King, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of meth. I'll find probable cause and stay the bond. Please follow the officer out the front door.
Take this with you.
Oh, we're gonna say, weren't they were the couple. Please tell me your name. All right, ma'am, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of meth, and I'll stay the bond at $1,500. I want to know what you all want me to do on the out on bond case. She's currently in the drug diversion program, so I don't know if they'll take this one and just deal with it as a violation in the diversion.
Your Honor, I don't believe it actually is a diversion. When I looked at the affidavit, she was arrested, or this event happened August 16th. That's actually when she was arrested on the 22 CF 6878. So I believe she was being arrested for that offense, and they found more drugs on her. So she wasn't out on bond at the
Okay.
time.
Okay. All right, I'll take no action on that case.
Good luck with everything.
Please tell me your name.
Cody Martin.
Mr. Martin, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with uttering a forged check. I'll find probable cause and stay the bond in the amount of $2,000.
No return to that bank, Your Honor.
Yeah, it was two different banks that he attempted to negotiate the check, so no return to either one. I think it was McCoy Federal Credit Union and Pentagon, but no return to those banks. I have a chance to look it up. Okay, please tell me your name.
Pedro Enrique Medina Cepeda.
All right, Mr. Medina Cepeda, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You have two charges: cultivation of cannabis and public order crimes, keeping a public nuisance structure. So I read, I have a PC challenge, so I don't know. Under the statute, it says the dwelling must be visited by persons for purpose of unlawfully using the substance. And so it was just during the search warrant, they found the cannabis, but I don't see the PC for the other one.
I didn't see that it had to be visited, Your Honor, but if you say there's no PC, I just glanced at it and saw that it could be for a dwelling, and if it was, so that's fine.
Okay, so I'll stay the bond in the amount of $1,000 on count 1, and on count 2, I'll ROR. And then PTR just handed me, I didn't have a chance to look at this. He's out on bond on another case, 2022 CF 13684AO.
And Your Honor, I actually wasn't provided his history, so I can't formulate a full argument. However, we would request that you take no action on the out on bond.
Do we know if it's been filed on?
I missed this one, Your Honor, so if you give me a moment.
And it might actually be, I mean, they were executing a search warrant, so it might be like the same, I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor, formal charges have been filed. There is pretrial set for July 19th.
I won't take any action on the out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, please step forward and tell me your name.
Ramon Murray.
Mr. Murray, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with cruelty to animals and child abuse. I reviewed the affidavit. I will find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds. And I'll require that you have no contact with the alleged victims and all of those witnesses.
Your Honor, due to the no contact, can we have a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings?
Yes, okay, you may. I was totally unclear of what the situation was because it wasn't charged as DV, so I wasn't sure if there was a relationship. But yeah, so separate, no contact, separate residence. You can return one time in the presence of law enforcement officers to retrieve personal belongings. And since several of them were juveniles, if any DCF requirements, you have to comply with that too.
Do you have any questions? And Your Honor, I believe and I apologize for the questions, I just want to make sure it's clear for him. I believe the only alleged victims would be the juveniles based on the report, so.
Yeah, it was just the one victim that he allegedly pushed.
Okay, and is that the only one he's to have no contact with, or with everyone in the?
No contact with all those.
Okay.
All those victims. The names are in there, they just called them like juvenile victim 1,
Very confusing to read, but yes. Okay, any questions?
would I be able to get housing assistance in this case since I don't have anywhere else to go?
Contact our office when you bond out. We have social workers that can assist you. I don't know fully what they can do, but I do know they can help.
That's about the question I could think of.
Good luck.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Sean Neal.
Mr. Neal, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with fleeing, eluding police. I reviewed the affidavit and I do find probable cause. I'm gonna set bond in the amount of $5,000.
Okay.
$5,000 your bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, any questions? Good luck.
Please follow the officer out the blue door. Please step forward and tell me your name. Ms. Pablos?
Yes.
All right, you do qualify for a public defender, so I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with prostitution. I'll stay the bond, find probable cause, stay the bond at 1,000.
Yes.
Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Just with you, stay in touch with us if you bond out, okay?
Please tell me your name. All right, Ms. Rivas, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with possession of meth, 2 separate counts of possession of meth, 2 counts of possession of cocaine, and 1 count of possession of cannabis less than 20 grams.
Your Honor, just for clarity, it's not 2 cocaines. One is cocaine, one is codeine.
Oh, thank you. I just read that. I totally read cocaine, so it's codeine. Okay, and then on the 2 meth, is that because there was 2 different baggies? Is that why? 2 different containers with the meth in it?
It may be clerical, but once it said presumptive positive for meth, and then the other was presumptive positive for MDMA.
MDMA, okay, so it is 2, it's 5 separate drugs, okay.
Yes.
All right, I know that all of them were tested, so, okay, I'll find probable cause and I'll stay the bonds, and that was count 1, 1,000, count 2, 150, count 3, 150, count 4, 150, count 5, 100.
If you bond out, stay in touch with us.
All right, sir, please tell me your name. Mr. Roberts, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with attempted burglary of a conveyance, battery on a law enforcement officer, and resisting an officer with violence. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll stay the bonds, and that's count 1, 1,000, count 2, 2,500, count 3, 1,000.
No return and no contact?
No return to the location and no contact with the alleged victim.
Any questions? I'm gonna go that way.
Please tell me your name.
Shivers Johnny.
Mr. Shivers, you already have the Office of the Public Defender appointed in your case. It's a failure to appear warrant, capias, and the judge in that case has already set bond in the amount of 500.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you.
500 as well, so 1,000 total. Just for your information.
Please step forward and tell me your name.
Brian Terrell Stewart.
Mr. Stewart, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You've been charged with prostitution. I'll find probable cause, stay the bond in the amount of 1,000.
So stay in touch with us if you bond out, and if you're not able to, talk to Tom. Options. Good luck.
It's a FTA.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. May I please have your name?
Aaron Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, these are failure to appear warrants in several cases. It looks like the Office of the Public Defender has already been assigned to represent you. The judge in those cases has set bond in the amount of none.
Gotcha. When is the court date?
I don't know. It'll be set for an in-jail arraignment. I'm not sure what. It's usually pretty quick. I'm not sure of the date.
Okay.
All right, please follow the officer out the blue door. Please tell me your name.
Good morning, Luis Ubiles.
And Your Honor, I do have a probable cause argument just for the resisting without on this one.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, oh, is a private attorney? Okay. So it was the resisting without violence was no objection to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so, sir, you've been charged with robbery with a firearm, possession of a firearm, and commission of a felony, and then the resisting an officer without violence. I'll find probable cause on counts 1 and 2. On count 1, it's punishable by life felony, so I'll set bond in the amount of none. On count 2, I'll stay the bond, or I'm gonna set it at $2,500. And, count 3, I won't find probable cause in our RR on the, or it's a separate, it's not at count 3, it's a separate case, the MM.
And Your Honor, we would reserve our right for an Arthur hearing downtown.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, with regard to the robbery, are there any conditions? I would ask for a no return, no weapons, no firearms.
Thank you. Yes, no return to the location, no contact with the alleged victim, and no weapons or firearms. If you have any, must turn them into the Orange County Sheriff's Office within 4 hours of release.
Ma'am, I never had,
Anything you say is being recorded, and it will absolutely be used against you.
Yes. No PC.
Your Honor, just to put him at ease, he does wish to make arguments on his case. However, they are regarding the facts of his case, and this is not the proper time to make those hearings. And I just want him to be, or make those arguments, and everything will be used against him in the future.
Yes,
Any
sir. So
statements.
it's a responsibility of the state to prove the case. You don't have to give any evidence against yourself. Everything that you say here today is being recorded, and the state will use it against you. So a lot of people want to talk about what happened, but you may inadvertently or by accident admit all of the facts of the case, and the state can use that against you. So I have appointed the Office of the Public Defender, and I really encourage you to speak to the attorney. You can have open and frank conversations with the attorney that are protected, and the attorney can give you better advice. This isn't really the time or the place anyway, because I can't get into the facts of the case. It's,
respect that.
okay, sir. Please follow the officer out the blue door.
Okay, good luck.
Vasquez Rich is in the hospital.
And Your Honor, since he's in the hospital outside medical, if we can reset for 24 hours from return from medical.
I don't have that one on my, Richards?
Vasquez.
Richie Vasquez.
Oh, it's down here. Okay, Richie Vasquez. So, we'll roll till tomorrow, or what'd you say?
Since it's outside medical, we don't know exactly when he'll return, so usually they have it for 24 hours from return from outside medical.
All right, we'll reset 24 hours upon his return from outside medical.
Vernon Ashley refused.
And Your Honor, I can waive her appearance. I do have a PC argument to the possession of cocaine only.
No objection?
Who, wait? Ashley Vernon. Okay, mine's out of order. Okay, so, I'll appoint the PD, I'll find probable cause on count 1, stay the bond at 1,000, and on the possession of cocaine, no PC ROR. Okay.
Thank you.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Speak into the microphone.
Homer Walker.
What happened to Zeller?
He's the last one on the docket.
Wasn't me.
We still have Walker and Williams, Your Honor.
All right, I'm sorry, did he qualify? All right, Mr. Walker, you did not fill out a form. Do you want to see if you qualify for a public defender? I think you had the public defender in your other case.
Yes.
You do? Okay. All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. So this is a failure to report. So, this is what I'm gonna do. I see that Dr. McLean was appointed on 4/17 to do an eval in the out on bond case. So this, I'm going to revoke the bond and set it at none so we can get the eval done. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's not occurring. But, and then on the new case, I'll set bond in the amount of $2,500 and require reporting within 4 hours of release.
And Your Honor, defense would object to revoking the bond on out on bond. We understand the court's position. However, we don't believe that that is the appropriate means for making sure the evaluation occurs. And we would also request that you have permission from the judge on the case to revoke the bond.
I do. I have expressed authorization of the judge to revoke the bond, and I'm going to do so.
So your out on bond was revoked for now. You'll have to talk to your attorney about what that means, okay? And I'm sure this is kind of confusing for you, so speak with your attorney a little bit more and they'll explain it, okay? So you call our office and let them know who you are and they'll tell you who your attorney is.
Please tell me your name, sir.
Jimmy Ray Williams.
All right, Mr. Williams, you do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You've been charged with petty theft, 2 or more prior convictions. I'll find probable cause. I'll stay the bond in the amount of $1,000, and I'll require that you not return to the Publix located at 13750 West Colonial Drive in Winter Garden. Mr. Zeller?
Yes, ma'am.
You do qualify for a public defender. I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. You have multiple charges: burglary of a conveyance, petty theft, criminal mischief, another burglary of a conveyance, grand theft 3rd degree, burglary of a conveyance, petty theft of $100 or more, burglary of a conveyance, petty theft of $100 or more. All of these are via warrant, so a judge has previously found probable cause, and I'll stay the bonds, and I'll go through them in just a moment. And the judge is also required that you not return to the scene, that you not possess any weapons or firearms, and that you have no contact with the alleged victims or witnesses. So I'll just go down on CF 51590. The bonds are 5,100, then 1,000. On the 52280, it's 5,000 and 1,000. On 1610, it's 5,100. And on 5156, it's 500 and 1,000.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are off the record?
Awareness about you.
No. Goes right over the head.
Appreciate you.
Are we using that thing again? Oh, I don't care. I'll be looking this way anyway. If it bothers y'all, we. Yeah. Okay, bring forth the guests.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Laura Bretaña, certified Spanish interpreter, previously sworn.
Well, thank you very much. Very nice to hear your voice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What do you want me to do? Okay. Before we start, state your appearance, please.
Brenda Eugene, on behalf of the State Attorney's Office.
Counsel for the defense.
Letitia George, on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you both. All right. First case number this afternoon, Madam Interpreter, is 2023 M09. Good afternoon, sir. State your name.
Brian Cañizares Alexander Arcila.
Brian Cañizares Alexander Arcila.
Sí.
Mr. Arcila, you are charged with petty theft involving $100 or more. Do you understand the charge?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Now, according to your affidavit, you do qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
O sea, una pregunta. ¿El abogado de oficio es pago o me lo pone acá?
I have a question. Do I have to pay for the public defender?
Yes, there is a small fee for that.
Sí, sí.
Yes.
All right, then I'll appoint the public defender, finding you qualify. The charge is petty theft involving $100 or more. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge. Bond is currently set at $250. I'll stay your bond at $250. You'll also be ordered not to return to the Walmart located at 5991 South Goldenrod Road.
Your Honor, he has no convictions. I would ask for an ROR in this case. I did ask if he had a telephone. He said he does have a phone where he can keep in contact with the attorney.
State has no objection.
Okay, that will also involve requiring him to surrender his passport. He's a Venezuelan citizen.
I don't know where his passport is, but he stated he doesn't have any plans of returning, Your Honor. So I don't speak Spanish. So I guess I'll just ask that you state a bond. I don't know where his passport is. I don't know if he has anybody. I'm not sure he can afford the bond. So just state a bond.
Okay. Bond is $250, sir, no return to the Walmart store. Do you understand that?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And Madam Interpreter, the next case number is 2023 MM3602. Good afternoon, sir. What is your name?
Brian Yacir Diaz. Brian Yacir Diaz.
Brian Yacir Diaz.
Sí.
Mr. Diaz, you are charged with petty theft involving $100 or more. Do you understand that charge?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. I also have an affidavit here indicating that you qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Por favor.
Please.
All right. And at this time, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charge of petty theft involving $100 or more. The bond is currently set at $500. I'll stay your bond $500. You'll also be ordered not to return to the Home Depot store located at 13121 South Orange Blossom Trail.
I would ask for 250, just like the previous defendant. He doesn't have any convictions on his record as well, so I just ask that you set the bond at 250.
Well, we're going to be talking passport again because corrections was unable to confirm his citizenship.
Oh, no, Your Honor, I'm not asking for the ROR. I'm asking for the bond to be reduced to 250 like the other defendant who was also not a U.S. citizen, who had petty theft of 100 or more as well. I'm just asking for a $250 bond.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
250. All right, next case number is 2023 CF 6901. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Lourdes López Ayala.
Lourdes López Ayala.
Ms. Ayala, you are charged with possession of MDMA, also known as ecstasy, possession of tetrahydrocannabinoids, destroying or attempted destruction of evidence. You understand those charges?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. I also see that your affidavit, you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, this time the court will appoint the public defender to represent you. I did read the affidavit. I do find probable cause for the charges. Bonds are, as to count one, will be $2,500. As to count two will be $150. And as to count three, $150. You're also out on bond on a purchase of MDMA in case 23 CF 6901. The court will take no action on the case that you're out on bond on. You understand all of that?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Good luck. Good afternoon. Let's see, case number, got a couple case numbers here, Madam Interpreter. 2023 CF 6566 and 2023 CF 6567. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Daniel Crespo Rodríguez.
And,
Daniel Crespo Rodríguez.
Daniel Crespo Rodríguez.
and Your Honor, defense will waive the reading.
All right, I have two separate felony case. One has 3 counts, and the other one has 2 counts. Both are pursuant to arrest warrants. And the judge signing the warrants found probable cause for all of the charges. I also note that the charges are punishable by life felonies.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're currently being held no bond as to both cases. I also see that you qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Ahora mismo sí.
Right now? Yes.
Right now.
Yo estoy buscando un abogado. A mí me están
Public
buscando un
defender
abogado.
is appointed to represent you in both cases. You want to limit your contacts, your conversation to your lawyer. You got that? Well, probable cause has already been determined. Sprinter?
And yes, Your Honor, we will set this for our Arthur hearing downtown.
Yep. So I'm going to order that you continue to be held no bond pending further order of the court, sir.
Your Honor, are there
No
any
tengo
conditions?
derecho a
Don't
una.
talk. Don't talk. Madam Interpreter, could you please advise the client not to speak about any of the facts of the case? Everything is being recorded and can be used against him. I provided the telephone number. He can reach the attorney and speak with them one-on-one about any issues he has.
I'm also going to order, sir, that you are to have no contact with the victim or victims as a condition of the release should you make bond. or while you're here at the jail. No calling them on the phone, no contacting them in any way. You're to have no unsupervised contact as a condition with any person under the age of 18 years old.
Y con mis hijos.
And my children,
Yo tengo dos hijos.
I have 2 children.
They, if they're under the age of 18, you're to have no contact with them until the court orders otherwise. Thank you. This hearing's concluded. I think that's all of our Spanish, Madam Interpreter. Thank you for your services.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you as well.
To the bunch. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your
Your
Honor.
name?
Ciani Stella Diaz.
All right, Ms. Stella Diaz. You are charged with grand theft third degree in case number 2023 CF 6884 and with burglary of a dwelling in case number 2023 6883. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, from your affidavit, I see that you qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender for you in both cases.
Thank you.
As to the grand theft third degree, having read the affidavit, I do find probable cause. Bond will be stated in the amount of $1,000 in that case. You'll be ordered not to return to the CVS store located at, oh, let's see, where's it at? I don't know, is this Mandrake? No, that's the address of the real property. I don't have an address on the CVS store.
7300 Curry Ford Road.
3300 Curry Ford Road, no return to that CVS store. As to the burglary of a dwelling, that would be the Mandrake address. Any argument on that, counsel? All right.
Can he have can she have a one-time return, Your Honor?
The house? No, she was squatting there.
She states that her belongings is still there, Your Honor.
Or what?
Her belongings is still at the, I guess.
The stolen items?
Well, I'm gonna find probable cause on the burglary charge. Bond is, on that one is set at $5,000. You're gonna be ordered not to return to 101 North Mandrake Street. Apparently, you were never legally in the house anyway, and so I'm not going to authorize a return to the property. You go back, you get arrested. Understand?
Your Honor, I would also ask for no contact with the co-defendant.
Okay, yeah, no contact with your co-defendant either. Thank you.
What was the bond, Your Honor? 5,000.
It's 5,000 on the burglary and 1,000 on the grand theft.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right. Well, the charge for Mr. Ronell Smith, or is that Mrs. Ronell Smith? Mr. Ronell Smith, is trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause for the charge. I'll appoint the public defender to represent the defendant and stay the bond. Wait a second, why is the bond $1,000? That's a mistake. Bond should be set at $500, so I'll set the bond at $500.
No return? No return?
Yeah. No return to 12999 Mallory Circle, number 205. Thank you. Let's see. Movement rate. I'm not sure what that says. What does that say?
Let me see really quick. Let me see, hold on. I'll look for you.
He's supposed to be where today? Oh, yeah, FAD. What's the acronym for FAD? Failure to appear? So the only thing keeping him here is the fact that he was out on bond?
Yes.
I think we can just do that with paper without bringing him over.
Okay,
What do you think?
it's up to Ian. Ian, is that okay?
Here.
Okay,
Well, the only thing that's detaining him is that he was out on bond at the time, which wasn't addressed. So I think if I just said no action on the out on bond, that would clear it up, right?
okay, you need the name and the case number, right, Ms. Ann? Want me to email it to you? The case number and the name?
That's it right there.
Yeah,
It's on the email, bottom of the email.
thank you.
So you think that'll work, Robin?
Yes,
I just say no action on the out on bond?
yes,
Okay. So,
thank you.
I'll just leave that in your capable hands, Ann, and move right along. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Mr. Marino, David Marino.
David Marino. Mr. Marino, you're being held on a capias that was issued for failure to appear. That was on a possession of something, metho, I've never heard of that one. It says you failed to appear for a trial management conference on May the 3rd. That was in Division 17, the court in Division 17. Ordered that you be held no bond when they issued the capias. Do you understand? Sir? I'm talking to
Said
you.
not really. What does that mean?
Which part of it don't you understand?
Am I being held?
Yeah, you are on no bond because you failed to show up for a case management conference.
They already have a plea offer, so we can get you before the court. That's when
Okay.
resolve.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
Robin?
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Well, don't go away just yet, sir.
Oh, he has more.
Did you have an attorney in that case?
He had us, Your Honor. The
He's got the PD?
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
That's what I needed to deal with.
Thank you. So I'm gonna let
You can't have it, but you can look at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's Ann's rules. Don't be violating Ann's rules. Now, that's not good for you. Wind up with a whole bunch of problems then. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Felicia Fordyce.
Ms. Fordyce, you are being held on a trespass on property after warning. The property being the Walmart at 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. And then you've also got a failure to appear in Division 23. And that was failure to appear for a competency hearing on May the 4th. That court issued a capias and ordered that you be held no bond. And you do qualify for the public defender. So let's first talk about the trespass charge. Do you understand that?
No, I don't understand it.
You don't understand what trespass is? You were there and you were previously issued a trespass warning not to come back there. And so, the allegation is that you went back in violation of the trespass warning, and so you were arrested and charged with trespass. Do you understand that? Okay, that having been said, I read the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll stay your bond at $500, and of course, you're ordered not to return to the Walmart located at, where'd my address go? 5734 South Orange Blossom Trail. And then you're being held no bond on the failure to appear in Division 23 for the competency hearing. And let's see, you do qualify for, did she have the PD in that other case already?
Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to appoint the PD for you in the new trespass charge as well.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You know these new cars that have the, have that thing on them where when you stop at like a stoplight or a stop sign, that the engine, it doesn't turn off really, it just goes so low that it's like it's off? I just bought my wife a new car a couple weeks ago, a Subaru Forester. They're nice cars. But this has that particular thing on it.
You can never tell.
And when it does it, the car shudders.
I don't like that.
And then when it comes back on, it shudders even worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think she's down there at the dealer right now having a discussion with them about that because she called and one of the service managers told her that was normal. And she said, "You're telling me the whole car shakes and that's normal?" Yeah. She said, "Well, you know, I drove a car like this while I was there. I test drove one of the cars. It wasn't this car, but one like it." And she said, "It did that and you never felt anything."
I have one, it doesn't do that.
Yeah, same kind of car?
Not the same kind, but.
It has that
where
same thing on it?
It shuts off.
Yeah, I have a
Doesn't-
niece that has a, what is it, a Jeep, Wagoneer or whatever they're called. And she has it and she says, you'd never even know it
Don't
does
feel
it.
it.
If you weren't watching the tack, you wouldn't realize that
It's on.
it had gone down.
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting because she went over there fired up this afternoon. She's right down the road too, at Don Mealy. So, be interesting. I bet when I get home today, she's got a new car. She won't leave without it. So we'll see how that goes. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yourself?
I'm good. Your name is?
Shania Brandon Shay Lovett.
I've missed one?
No.
All right. You said Lovett, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see, Ms. Lovett, in Division 17, there's a warrant charging you with 3 counts of grand theft third degree. Do you understand why you're being held?
Yes, sir.
On the warrant, I mean. All right. Now, I see that you qualify for the services of the public defender.
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you in this case?
Yes, sir.
I'll do that. The public defender is officially your attorney now. The warrant found probable cause and set the bond at $1,000 for each count. And, I don't really have a location. So, no return to the scene or scenes of the offenses. I'll add that as a requirement. And, so, any questions you have at this point, you're gonna wanna direct to your attorney, okay?
I don't have the location. Your Honor, do you have the location? I thought I printed
Nope.
it off. She doesn't know what.
I don't mean being impertinent answering it that way, but no, I don't have the, affidavit that goes with the, warrant.
Sorry.
It is 7-Eleven. 6994 West Colonial Drive.
Is it a business with a
It
name
says
and all?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven, okay. So that's 7-Eleven on West Colonial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Got it. So no return to the 7-Eleven. Got it?
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Good afternoon. Your name?
How you doing? My name is Darren Mack.
Mr. Mack, you're here for an arraignment on a charge of petty theft involving $100 or more. And let's see, I see the public defender is representing you.
Yes.
So you understand what that charge is, sir?
Yes, sir.
Looks like he has 20 days' time served on that.
Yes, Your Honor, we're going to enter a plea of not guilty.
All right. So pretrial conference, that's in Division 61.
It's gonna be June 16th at 8:45 in courtroom 7C.
What was, I'm sorry, I missed the date.
June 16th.
Thank you.
At 8:45 in courtroom 7C. Good luck, Mr. Mack. You're welcome, sir. Just that one arraignment today, huh? Okay, good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Yavion Barnes.
Up, you're gonna have to speak up.
Yavion Barnes.
All right, Mr. Barnes, you are being held on charges of resisting without violence and providing false ID to a law enforcement officer. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, he would like to resolve the case with an adjudication of guilt, credit time served. State.
All right, Mr. Barnes, if I didn't say it, you do qualify for the public defender, so I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. And so that's the deal, huh? Time served. Okay. All right, Mr. Barnes, did you read this plea form?
The one you signed.
Yes, sir.
You gotta say it louder.
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read on it? Use your voice.
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you have any questions about it?
No, sir.
You understand those are rights that you give up by entering a plea of no contest?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, then he's also out on bond on a loitering for unlawful purpose, and I'll take no action on that. So as to the two counts in this arrest affidavit, I'll accept your plea. You indicated an adjudication as to both counts, counsel?
Yes.
All right. Adjudicate you guilty as to both counts, sentence you to time served, order that you pay one set of court costs and the associated fees that go along with the entry of the plea. And I'll give you 30 days from the date of your release from this place to contact the clerk's office and make arrangements to pay that off. Good luck. Gotta move up. I bet it's that cotton picking attorney that walked in here. How you doing? All right, how are you? Good? Well, you know, some days.
Oh.
It's been all rainy and stuff, so I can't be outside doing what I'd normally do, so.
He's here. Oh, stay right here, stay right here. He's
Might as well come down here to the jail and do this for a while. Okay, is this Mr. Elma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Counselor, your appearance.
I am Kendall Horween, but David Bigney is Mr. Elma's attorney. And he's asked me to step in his place as he has an obligation with his judicial spouse for some type of occurrence.
Something, but you just don't know what.
Well, is it not in, she's swearing somebody in someplace and he has to be there with her apparently.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you get a lot of that this time of year, with people passing the bar.
I forget where she said she was going, where they were in the car together when he contacted me. She said where she was going. I can't remember where it was though.
Yeah. I don't miss doing that at all. The other thing I don't miss doing at all is conducting weddings.
Rather do a trial?
I honestly, I think I'd rather have a Stuart Hyman DUI trial than do either one of those.
That's because that'll never happen.
Well, if they ever happen.
A motion to suppress, you mean?
Yeah, I agree. Or one of his 3-day motions to suppress.
Or did you ever have Ken Barlow's 3-day-long voir dires? How about those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken and I had, we had an interesting situation when he was before he came on a bench and then left the bench. But he came in, I was covering something for somebody. I was still actively on the bench. And we were calling trials and Ken said, oh, it's a trial. Okay, have a seat. We'll go through the rest of these. I'll get back with you. And so we did, and I kind of watched him all morning. Of course, I knew he had to be 8 other places. And the longer he sat there, the more he sweat. And then we got to a point where, I forget just what happened, but we couldn't go. I think there was a speedy case that I had to take in front of his. So I said, so come back tomorrow morning, we'll see what we can do. Okay, no problem. Comes back second morning, and I said, so where are we at today? Still a trial. Okay, and bingo, something got in between him and a trial. So I had to say, hey, I'm gonna have to have you come back tomorrow because we can't try your case today. And I could see Ken growing visibly nervous. And then I brought him back the 3rd day. And he comes up to the bench. He said, I got an approach. Can I talk to you? Yeah, you can talk to me. Comes up to the bench. And I said, what do you need? He says, if I have to stay here again today, and if we can't get this thing resolved today, he said, I'm gonna be fired by any number of clients, not to mention, Jaeger that he was working for at the time. And I said, the only time I ever saw Ken Barlow sweat was that day. And I realized, and then I resisted the temptation not to share that information with the other judges because I knew if I did, he was gonna get stuck at every courtroom he walked into, no matter what he did. And, after all was said and done, as big an issue as Ken could make out of virtually nothing, he was still pleasant to be around.
He's very proud of that skill.
Yeah.
Very proud of that skill. But he is otherwise pleasant to be around.
He is, very pleasant.
I just saw him today, actually, at the hallway on the 6th floor this morning.
Yeah. How's his health?
I think it's better. It looks like he lost some weight, so I hope maybe that's gonna help him out. But I know he had a problem not too long ago, but I think he's been doing better since.
He did have serious problems. But he seemed like everything going okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Elma is being held on a charge of sale and delivery of in excess of 20 grams of cannabis and possession of a prescription drug without a script. I read the affidavit, and there is probable cause in that affidavit for those charges, which would get him a bond of $2,500 on count 1, 100 as to count 2. So I take it Bigney's going to pick this case up and run with it too?
That's his understanding, is that Mr. Elma's gonna.
So I don't need to appoint,
He just hasn't.
yeah. I would imagine that his biggest concern is these ones he's out on bond on.
It is.
Yeah, he's out on bond on the fleeing and attempting to elude, and then a bunch of possession of
I know
cannabis.
one has not been filed on, the other one's the older one. Mr. Elma does have 3 children that he resides with and has a
I'm
full-time
not taking
trucking
any
job.
action on them, Kendall,
Okay,
on the, out on bonds.
all right.
I think there's some, there's an appellate case floating around addressing that right now, which kind of happens to coincide with the way I always felt about it anyway. So no action on the out on bonds.
Gotcha.
Just stay the bonds in the current amount as far as the new charges are concerned.
How much were the new bonds again?
The count one's 2,500, count two is 100.
Very well. Thank you, Judge.
Not a problem. Good to see you.
You look exactly the same way as I saw you last time. And that must have been like 5, 6 years ago or so.
Somebody told me that the other day.
You're aging gracefully. I think I've lapped you.
Well, it could be, could be. It's, I think it sneaks up on you. You go to bed one night and you look at yourself and you look normal. You get up the next morning and you're old.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's been me like the past about year or so. Like, wait a minute, now something's happened.
Oh, yeah, well,
It's gotten real.
it does. And it gets more real as you go.
I just turned 53 in March.
53.
53.
Yeah, I'm 72 now.
It didn't, huh?
I'm 72 now.
That's really?
Mhm.
Wow. You're doing great,
It'll get me. Don't worry. I'll get
know,
up
man.
one day and I'll be walking bent over.
It'll get you when you're 95 apparently at this rate.
Well, we'll see if that works out. I didn't expect for it to last this long, so I just consider it all borrowed time anyway.
All we can do is enjoy the ride, right?
Yep. Take care.
Great seeing you again.
You too. Okay, let's see. Good afternoon, sir. Mr. Brundage, right?
Yes, sir.
I haven't seen you in a while. Used to see you out here some years ago.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with resisting without violence, sir, which is a misdemeanor of the first degree.
And violation,
I do find probable cause on that. Now, you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
yes, sir.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is going to be stayed at $500 if that's necessary. So, good luck, and
What about the CRD violation?
You still have to.
I don't have any paperwork on that.
It's a violation.
It's probably coming through the system.
It's a violation of parole.
Is there?
Don't see him for that.
Yeah, he already has it. We
Yeah.
just don't deal with the parole violation.
On what?
No, we don't deal with parole.
No, apparently there's no plea offer on that charge. Let's see. Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Raymond Calderon.
Mr. Calderon, you are being held on a charge of resisting without violence and trespass on property after warning. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
Then you've got, actually, that's somebody else, so. It looks like you qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like to have the public defender appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that. And so, counsel?
Your Honor, the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and no return to the location. And Mr. Calderon would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Calderon, did you read this plea form?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about it?
Sir.
Feel like it's in your best interest to enter the plea today?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'll find your plea is free and voluntary, accept your plea of no contest. You'll be adjudicated guilty as to each of the 2 counts, sentenced to time served, concurrent as to each count. You'll also be ordered to pay the court costs and various other fees that are associated with a trip to this place. And you're also ordered not to return to the Presidente Supermarket at 2722 North Pine Hills Road as a condition of the plea.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
So, good luck, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Oops. Did I give you, I didn't give you that. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Carlos Joseph Donez.
Jones. Mr. Donez, you are charged with trespass on property after warning. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I did review the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I also see that you qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like to have the public defender appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
All right, at this time, I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Counsel, are you over there talking about Mr. Donez's case? Okay, I just wanted to make sure I gave you time.
Thank you, Your Honor. The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt. 5 days in the Orange County Jail, credit for 2, and no return to the location located at 8049 East Colonial Drive.
All right, Mr. Donez, you've heard the offer, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you're gonna enter a plea based on that offer, or what?
That's correct.
All right,
Oh, sorry.
Wawa. First time I saw that on an affidavit down here, I didn't know what a Wawa was. It was before they came here, when they were just coming to this area. And Wawa, really? Now, go somewhere and there isn't a Wawa, you know? Do you know the places you want to check out are those bee places that you see on the interstate now? You know the ones I'm talking about? Buzzy Bee or whatever it is? There you go. So I take it you've been to those places. We were coming out of Texas earlier this year. We were out there and we needed to get gas, me and my brother, and we pulled into one of them. You're gonna think I'm exaggerating now. Me exaggerate? Never. The one we pulled into was bigger than the Florida Mall. It went, I'm telling you, it went for a city block. And it was, there must have been 200 gas pumps out there. And you went in the place and there was absolutely nothing on the planet you couldn't buy in there. Not that you wanted to once you got in there, because it was as crowded as the Florida Mall on Christmas Eve. So, I do like their bathrooms though. Well, you know, you gotta like something about the place, right? So, Mr. Donez, you're entering a plea of no contest to the charge of trespass on property, right?
That is correct, sir.
And did you, or have you ever read one of these plea forms?
Yes, but I have memory problems, so I'm
Yeah.
never, you know, it's.
Yeah, well, you remember that the plea form has a list of the rights that you give up by entering a plea?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, and so, you're entering the plea freely and voluntarily?
That's correct, yes.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea. Now, you will be adjudicated guilty of the charge. You're gonna be sentenced to 5 days in the Orange County Jail. You probably got a couple of days' time served already. Ordered not to return to the Wawa store at 8049 East Colonial Drive. Pay court costs and the other attendant fees associated with this plea. And I'm gonna order that you check in with the clerk's office within 30 days of your release from here to make arrangements as to what you're gonna do about that money.
I understand.
All right, well, good luck. You're welcome. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
It's a Corey Emmanuel, sir.
All right, I've got a Yissa Emmanuel.
That is him, Your Honor. This is,
It is?
yes.
Oh. Didn't he say Corey something?
It's a Corey Emmanuel. That's my
That's
name.
his name, Your Honor.
Okay, but, so is this a mistake, or do you go by Yissa Emmanuel?
No, that's
something?
just the way they put it, because on my ID, it's hyphenated, but it's supposed to be together.
So it's Corey,
It's Yissachar. Yissachar, sir.
okay, all right. So this is you.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's confusing. You're charged with petty theft involving $100 or more, and, let's see, looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll do that this time. I did read the affidavit. I did find probable cause for the charge. And, let's see. That was the Publix, yeah, I see. Okay. Bond is $500. You're ordered not to return to the Publix store located at 3902 South Cimarron Boulevard as a condition of your release.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Interesting hairdo. I have just enough hair back there, I could do that too. Not my plan, but I could do it. All right, good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Garen Jones.
And you pronounce the first name how?
Garen.
Garen?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Jones, you're charged with larceny and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand those charges?
I didn't understand what larceny meant, but now I do. I
Okay,
understand, yes, yes,
all right. And looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you? I'll do that at this time. I did review the affidavit, and I do find probable cause for the charges. Bond as to the theft charge, I'll stay at $500. As to the paraphernalia, the bond will be $100. And you are not to return to 8863 West Colonial Drive, which is a public store.
Okay.
All right? Good luck.
That's it. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Downstairs? No.
Let's see. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Jeff Lucas?
Hello, Mr. Lucas.
How you doing, sir?
You are charged with petty theft, sir. And, looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
I don't know, what does that mean to me?
Well, it means you got a lawyer.
Okay, right,
Just that simple.
simple.
Here's you with a lawyer, here's you without a lawyer. So,
Well, with a lawyer, I'm in better shape.
oh, absolutely. Without a lawyer, you're just tumbling through space, out of control.
Okay,
So, you also qualify for pretrial release.
okay.
And, so,
We would ask for pretrial release, Your Honor.
sure, not a problem. And, I do find probable cause for the, charge, by the way. You're not to return to 5571 International Drive, which is Zebra Foods, as a condition of your release. Do you understand?
Sure do.
Okay, now they're gonna explain pretrial release to you before you go. The rules, what you gotta do, how you comply with it. Pay attention to those,
Okay.
all right? Good luck.
Is that it?
That's it?
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say something else.
Your Honor, could I have a moment, before we
So I take it you like those places? Well, my first time I went in one with my daughter, we were on our way back from up north. We had been up there on a little road trip, and we saw it. We go, we'll go in there. I can't tell you the whole story because a lot of it's inappropriate, but she's an adult, by the way. So we stopped to use the facilities, and I went in mine, she went in hers, and she came out, and she's just raving about those bathrooms. She, the fact that they're completely enclosed, the stalls, top to bottom and all that sort of thing. Later, when we're off the record, I'll tell you the rest of the story. It gets kind of funny from there, but she just thought that was the greatest thing since peanut butter.
They have good, I went to the one in Daytona. They have good food in there.
Yeah. Well, we took her to, when she was much smaller, we took her to Las Vegas. We were out doing a road trip out west. And so we decided to stop for the night in Vegas, and we stayed at Caesars. And of course, they had some pretty palatial rooms in that place, and we were in one of them, and she's just a little bitty girl, and she went to the bathroom, and of course, there's a phone right next there to it, and there's a big TV on the thing. She came out thinking, and she just couldn't stop talking about it. And then we ordered room service, and they wheeled it in with those silver things all covering stuff. She couldn't sleep that night. She was so excited about all that stuff. Then we made the mistake of taking her to the M&M store in Las Vegas. That thing's incredible. Bought a bunch of M&Ms because we figured, the M&M store. Not realizing there was an M&M store right over here on International Drive. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we've done crazier things. We drove one year up to South Carolina to get fireworks, only to discover that we could have driven right over to Cocoa Beach and got all the fireworks we wanted.
You will. Your Honor,
Thanks, sir.
we're gonna actually resolve the case. The offer from the state was a withhold of adjudication, credit time served and no return to, I don't know, you have the address, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
I do.
And, Mr. Lucas is on Social Security disability. He has a hard time, paying fees, so I would ask that you reduce his, fees to a civil judgment based on that.
So, Mr. Lucas, you're entering a plea of no contest to the charge. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and you believe it's in your best interest to do that, sir?
Yes.
All right, you read the plea form?
Yes.
And you understand what it says? All right, sir, I'll accept your plea of no contest, withhold adjudication of guilt, sentence you to time served. As far as the costs are concerned, that being court costs and the other fees associated with it, pursuant to the request by your attorney and with no objection from the state, I'll reduce those to a civil judgment. You're also ordered not to return to the Zebra Foods location at 5571 International Drive as a condition of the sentence. Good luck. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Man.
Mr. Mann, you are charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand that charge?
The officer explained it.
I can't hear you.
Officer explained it because I didn't know what it was.
Paraphernalia is anything used or associated with the use of drugs.
Your Honor, in this particular case, I would ask for an ROR. There was an offer to resolve. However, Mr. Mann has been deemed incompetent to proceed, so I can't plead the case out. And given that it's just a simple paraphernalia, I would ask for an ROR. I did ask Mr. Mann. He does have a telephone, a way to keep in contact with his attorney. But due to the incompetency, I can't plea him.
What I'm willing to do is reduce his bond to $250. As far as the ROR, I'm going to deny that. He's got 4 failures to appear. So he wouldn't, under any set of circumstances, qualify for an ROR. All right? Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Your name? Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
your name?
Johnny Ray McCauley.
All right, sir, you are charged with criminal mischief. In your case, it looks like it's probably charged as a misdemeanor of the first degree. And, yes, I do recall that. Looks like you qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Your Honor, I was hoping to plea out today. Get
Your
time
what?
served today. Please, Your Honor.
You're what?
I was hoping to get time served today, please.
No, I'm not negotiating with you. That's up to the state and your attorney to do. And it's criminal mischief, meaning there's a victim out there, and under Florida law, victims have a right to be heard at the time that the court disposes of the case or does anything important in the case. You see no victim over there. The state can't hustle up victims that quick for these kind of things. So it wouldn't be possible for you to plea it out today. So, the bond, according to this, is $1,000. And I've appointed the PD for you, so. What is that? All right, I'll stay the bond at $1,000, order you not to return to, 284 Seminole Trail.
Your Honor, I believe he resides there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
He's,
think it's a portion where he does not live. You see, he went into a part of the property he wasn't allowed to be. Just couldn't recall where.
the problem that's gonna be is I'm also gonna order him to have no contact with the victim or victims, and the victim lives on the same property.
It looks as though it's a trailer on the property, right?
That's what I. It's what different. What?
I see. If they can be 500 feet apart, I don't see a problem with it.
I hear what you're saying.
No return to the property, no contact with the victim, sir.
Yes, sir.
I don't believe it's a mobile home that he resides in on the property, as long as he doesn't have contact with the victim. I would ask that he be allowed to return home. He's on Social Security disability. He doesn't have money to live anywhere else. And I believe he went to a different mobile home and broke a window, is my understanding.
Right.
Allegedly. That was a different home, so I just asked that he be allowed to return to his home as long as he does not have contact with. Jen.
Apparently, the victim is his landlord.
No. So could he have a one-time return?
Yep.
Thank you.
Let him go back one time in the company of law enforcement to recover his personal possessions.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Good afternoon, David Lawrence McConnell.
Mr. McConnell, you are charged with trespass on property after warning, which is a misdemeanor of the first degree. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like you, well, maybe you do, I don't know if you qualify for the PD or not.
And Your Honor, the offer from the state to resolve the case is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Orlando International Airport. And Mr. McConnell would like to accept an interplea of no contest.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. McConnell, you're entering a plea of no contest to a charge of trespass on property after warning, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you believe it's in your best interest to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you read the plea form?
Yes, sir.
Any questions about that?
No, sir.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea. You'll be adjudicated guilty of the charge, sentenced to time served, ordered not to return to 1 Jeff Fuqua. And you'll also be ordered to pay court costs. Oh, no, that's the airport, also known as the airport, International Airport. And you'll be ordered to pay court costs and the other fees associated with the plea. Going to order you to check in with the clerk within 30 days of your release to make arrangements to take care of that, all right?
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nah, he didn't do an affidavit anyway. All right, good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Dennis Edward Nicholas.
All right, Mr. Nicholas. Goodness, you're charged with criminal mischief, sir. And that is a misdemeanor. Does look like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yeah.
All right, sir, I'll do that. I do find a probable cause on the criminal mischief. So, I'll stay your bond at $500. Order that you have no contact with any victims or state witnesses as a condition of your release. And, no action on the cases he's out on bond on.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Your name?
John Randall Sanders.
Mr. Sanders, you're charged with trespass in an occupied structure or conveyance.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that charge?
Excuse me?
Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir. You do qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
I just want to resolve it today.
Okay, well,
Gonna
best
plead
way to
no
do that
contest.
is let me appoint the public defender.
Okay.
All right, so I'll appoint the public defender. By the way, I do find probable cause for the charge. So,
And Your Honor, the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 723 South Dillard Street, and Mr. Sanders would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest.
all right. Mr. Sanders, you ever read one of those plea forms?
This one here?
This thing you just signed right here?
Yes,
And feel like you understand what it says?
I do.
Any questions about it?
No, sir.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to time served, order that you not return to 723 South Dillard Street, that's out in Winter Garden.
Yes, sir.
You'll also be ordered to pay court costs and the other fees associated with this plea. I'll order you to check in with the clerk within 30 days of your release to make arrangements to take care of those.
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir. Afternoon, sir. Your name?
Sean Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, you are charged with disorderly conduct, which in your case, it's a city ordinance violation. And looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like to have the public defender appointed to represent you?
Please.
Sir?
Please.
Okay.
And,
So, counsel?
Your Honor, the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 in court costs, and Mr. Davis would like to accept and enter plea of no contest.
All right. How about no return to the Lynx bus station?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
I mean, I realize that's a place of public transportation, which makes the no return somewhat problematic, but It's appropriate under the circumstances. So, Mr. Davis, did you read this plea form before you signed it? You feel like you understand what it says? Yeah, you have any questions about it?
No.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 3 days Orange County Jail, credit 2 days time served, order that you not return to the Lynx bus station as a condition of your release. Also be ordered to pay court costs and the other attendant fees associated with this plea. Order you to check in with the clerk within 30 days of your release, to make arrangements to take care of those things. Good luck, sir. All right, good afternoon. Your name, sir? Mr. Taylor, you're charged with a state misdemeanor violation, City Ordinance 43.3. And you do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like to have the public defender appointed for you?
Yes.
I'll appoint the public defender for you.
And the offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and Mr. Taylor would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right. All right, Mr. Taylor, ever read one of these plea forms?
Yes, say it louder.
Yes.
Okay, and did you feel like you understood what you read on it?
Yes.
All right, any questions about it? No. All right, sir, I'll accept your plea of no contest. You'll be adjudicated guilty, sentenced to time served. You're gonna be ordered to pay court costs and the other fees associated with this plea. And you're ordered to check in with the clerk within 30 days of your release to make arrangements to take care of that.
Yes.
Good luck, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Edward Peter Wallace.
Mr. Wallace. You're charged with open container. That is, having an open container in violation of City Ordinance 33.06. Do you understand that charge?
Sir.
All right, sir. You do qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes.
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in the case.
And the offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and Mr. Wallace would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wallace, were you able to read and understand this plea form?
Yes, sir.
Feel like you understand what it says?
Yes, sir.
All right, I believe it's in your best interest to enter this plea of no contest today?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to time served, order that you pay court costs and the other fees associated, and you're ordered to check in with the clerk within 30 days of your release to make arrangements to pay those. I also see that you have reporting requirements. So I'm going to remind you that this arrest is considered a change of address. So therefore, you have to report that to the authorities that you normally report to.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
You're gonna take no action on the cases out on bond?
Yeah, no action on it when he's out on bond.
Your Honor, 40 Samuel bonded.
Yeah, I kind of had that in my head. All right.
Hernandez Bianca also bonded.
Bianca Hernandez bonded. Here we go. And here we go.
Daisley Steve also bonded.
All right. All right, that brings us to you, sir. What's your name?
Cooper Julius.
Julius Cooper. Mr. Cooper, you are charged with possession of cocaine. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like to have the public defender as your attorney?
Sure.
I'll appoint the public defender. And I do find probable cause on the possession of cocaine charge. bond will be stayed at $1,000. It also looks like you might have reporting requirements. So let me remind you that you need to report this arrest as a change of address to those authorities, and to do so as quickly as possible when you leave this place. Otherwise, you'll be violated on that.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Good luck. You're welcome, sir. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Erica Cruz Pagan.
Let's see. Cruz Pagan, huh?
Yes.
Okay. You're charged with fleeing and eluding. Do you understand those charges?
Yes.
All right. And you qualify for the public defender. Would you like to have me appoint them for you?
Sure.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender for you. You also qualify for pretrial release.
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask for pretrial release.
Yeah, it's a monitored form of release, which will be explained to you before you leave this place, with rules and check-in requirements and other things. Somebody asked me earlier today if it was kind of like probation, and the answer really is, yeah, it is, while the case is pending, okay? So, if you have no questions about that, then we're concluded, and I'll direct that you be released PTR. No driving without a valid driver's license if you don't have one. You're welcome. All right, yes, sir. What's your name?
Haiti.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Haiti.
I can't hear you.
Haiti.
Haiti? Okay. All right. Well, sir, you are charged with burglary of an unoccupied conveyance and resisting without violence. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir.
All right. And looks like you qualify for the PD. Do you want me to appoint them for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. I did read the affidavit. I do find probable cause on the charges. Well, burglary and an unoccupied conveyance. The state, what is the bond schedule say about that?
One moment, Your Honor.
I'm thinking $1,000, but
Sounds reasonable.
1,000, okay. So I'll set the bond at $1,000 on count one, $100 as to count two. You're ordered not to return to the area of Simpson Road and Landings Circle in Orlando as a condition of your release. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm not taking any action on the case you're out on bond on. 1,100. Good afternoon, your name, sir?
Diaz, Jonathan.
Mr. Diaz, you're charged with possession of cocaine. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
All right. Looks like you qualify for the PD. Would you like for me to appoint the PD for you?
Yes.
All right, sir, I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. After reviewing the affidavit, I do find probable cause for the charge. I'll stay your bond at $2,500. And, yeah, there's nothing else that needs to be done.
Your Honor,
Looks like he might have an APHIS hold.
Your Honor, the bond was 2,500?
Yeah.
This Prince cleared your.
I would ask for $1,000 bond, which is the standard for the possession.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird that it goes on here on 2,500. I don't mind reducing it, state. Do you have an objection to that?
No objection, Your Honor.
So I'll set the bond at $1,000.
Hello.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Deanna Doctor.
All right, Ms. Doctor, you are charged with having 5 or more identification records in your possession, and operating a vehicle with a counterfeit license plate. Do you understand those charges? Do you?
No, because they weren't in my possession, so no. I don't.
Well, I'm not asking you if you're guilty. I'm just asking you if you understand what you're charged with.
Oh, okay. So yes. Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, defense would argue no PCS to the counterfeiting a license plate. The tag that was found was a temporary tag, a paper tag, which is not a license plate per the statute. So defense would argue no PC to the counterfeiting a license plate.
State.
Defense has made the argument before, Your Honor, and I know that I have looked at it. Defense is correct. An offense has occurred, Your Honor, and I can give you the appropriate statute, or you can find no PC.
I have options.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's the smaller of the two. Okay. I'll find no PC as to count 2, the counterfeit license plate. Bond will be stated at $2,500 as to count 1, and ROR as to count 2. You're also charged with driving while your license was suspended or revoked, which is a separate count altogether. I do find probable cause for that as well. That bond will be set at $500. And finally, you've got a failure to appear in Division 82. I'm betting it's on a Dwellis. Yep, on a Dwellis charge with a bond of $500 as to that. So, do you understand all that?
Yes.
Okay, good luck.
Yes, sir. What is
You're welcome.
So what's this? Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Graham Kennedy.
Who's this?
We cannot possibly have every person in the world in here that talks so quietly that you can't hear anything they say every day. So you need to say all that again so I can hear it.
Julian Graham Kennedy.
There you go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Mr. Graham Kennedy, you're charged with possession of methamphetamine with intent. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
All right. And, all right, I think, let me check real quick. Oh, yeah, and there's also a state misdemeanor, which I'm gonna guess is resisting. I did review the affidavits, and you do qualify for the public defender. So you want me to appoint the public defender for you? Okay, you gotta use that voice again. All right. All right, and I'm gonna find probable cause on both counts. The possession of methamphetamine with intent, I'll stay the bond at $2,500. As to the state misdemeanor charge, I'll set the bond at $100. And I think that'll do it. Good luck.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Hunt, why does that name ring a bell? The possession of cocaine charge. I read the affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll stay the bond at $1,000 and also appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Hunt.
Your Honor, Joseph Nashon, bonded.
Son Joseph, oops, all right. Next one, Dion Justice.
He refused, Your Honor.
Did he refuse?
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
All right, that's a failure to appear at a arraignment for possession of a firearm found to have committed a delinquent act. Why would they have him on no bond? Oh, failure to appear, it's a capias, so it's no bond on the capias on Justice. And find a voluntary waiver has been filed of his appearance at first appearance.
You're appointing the Office of the Public Defender?
Yeah, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. Good afternoon, what's your name?
Felicia LaValle.
Mrs. LaValle, you are charged with grand theft third degree. That's pursuant to a warrant.
And, Your Honor, she qualifies for pretrial release.
Yeah, let's talk about that. There's a warrant, though, that sets her bond at $2,500.
Your Honor, as long as it's not an FTA, you can qualify her for PTR, and state has no objection.
Okay. Never know if there's something behind all that stuff, but yeah, okay. And she does qualify for the public defender, so I'll appoint the PD as well. Now, Ms. LaValle, I'm gonna authorize your release, pretrial release. And that's a non-monetary form. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it gets you monitored while you're out there on release, but you don't have to pay any money to go. Okay? Now, I've appointed the public defender. If you want to stay out of deeper water, make sure you stay in touch with your attorney. You know, you may call and they may put you on hold for 20 minutes, but I'm not saying they do, but they might. And so make sure you stay in touch with your attorney. And follow the rules of PTR. Yes, Robin?
She was given a no contact with the victim and no return on the warrant for the conditions.
Okay, no contact with the victim, no return to the scene of the offense. Let me see that. I just handed you. Thanks.
I don't have a location.
Yeah, it's right there on the warrant. No contact with victim, no return to the scene. It's okay. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck.
I'm looking it up, Your Honor. $711. 9562 East Colonial Drive.
Good afternoon. Your name? All right, Ms. Marte, you are charged with burglary of a dwelling, which is a felony offense. And, yes, that case. Then you're also charged with grand theft third degree. Do you understand those charges? Use your voice. Okay. All right. I did read the affidavit. I do find probable cause for each of those charges. You also qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like to have me appoint the public defender for you? Yes. All right. I'll appoint the public defender. The burglary charge, I'm gonna stay the bond at $5,000. As to the grand theft third degree, I'll set that bond at $150.
Your Honor, any objection to reducing the burglary of a dwelling? She has no criminal history, to $2,500.
What do you think, State?
Your Honor, this appeared to be part of a scheme. They stole a lot of items from the CVS, had a getaway car, and then moved it into a vacant home where they had manufactured a lease. This all seems somewhat sophisticated, so no, I'm okay with the $5,000, and I would ask that they not return to either location and have no contact with the co-defendant.
Right. Well, I'm good with a no contact with the co-defendant. I'm good with no return to the scene, that house on Mandrake. And, yeah, I think I'll stay the bond at $5,000. I've reduced the other one to $150. That was an odd, peculiar set of facts. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Timothy Matson.
Mr. Mattson, you're being held on a capias that was issued for failure to appear for a plea hearing on March 20th of this year. 2 counts, possession methamphetamine, petty theft of $100 or more. That's in Division 16, and the court in Division 16 has ordered that you be held no bond as to each count, pending further order of that court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you have an attorney in that case?
Yes, I did.
Public defender? Okay, that's your best friend. That's who you want to talk to. All right? Good luck. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Ralph Moon.
I have a Kyle McDonald. Well, I'll do Mr. Moon first. Is that Mr. McDonald right there?
I don't have a McDonald, Your Honor.
We don't have him on our.
You don't?
You have a booking number, Judge?
Huh?
You have the booking number?
Booking number, I'm sure there's one on here somewhere. Oh, there it is, 23013461.
Gail McDonald bonded.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he had bonds, okay.
Surety bond.
Does not break my heart. All right, Mr. Moon.
Sir.
There we go. You're being held on a couple of capiases, I think. You got failures to appear in Division 11. That was for a trial management conference on March 29th of this year. And that court issued a capias and ordered that you be held no bond as to each of those counts. And then you got some failures to appear in Division 20. Capias was issued. That was for failure to appear for an arraignment on April 13th of this year. And that court in Division 20 also ordered you held no bond. And then it looks like you got a out-of-county hold for Lake County. Now, you do qualify for the public defender. Did you have an attorney in either one of these cases that you failed to show up in?
Yes, Your Honor. In 2022 CF 961380, we are appointed. I did not see an attorney in 2021 CF 8055.
All right, I'll appoint your office in that case as well.
Thank you. Nope. Just to tell you why you're arrested.
What was he asking for, a bond?
Yes.
Well, I guess if you don't ask, you don't get, right? All right, sir, you are who? What's your name?
Corey Roberts.
All right. I think I handed you Mr. Roberts' paperwork, did I? What did I do with it? His would have been probably before that. Oh, here it is, right here. Sorry, it was right there the whole time. You put that there when I wasn't looking. Why don't you admit it? You did that. All right, Mr. Roberts, you said Corey Roberts, right? Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
You said Corey Roberts?
Yes, sir.
That's your name?
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Sir.
All right, I can't hear you.
He's saying yes, sir.
My bad.
Let's see, in Division 20, pursuant to a warrant, you're charged with burglary of an occupied structure and grand theft. The court, Michael Dean, signing that warrant, found probable cause for those charges. Set your bonds at $2,500 as to count 1, $1,000 as to count 2. And you do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender for you. Good luck to you, sir. Yeah, no contact, no return. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Victor Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez. Well, you're charged with grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle and resisting an officer without violence. That's pursuant to a warrant. Can't tell you who the judge was, don't recognize the signature. The warrant found probable cause. Set your bond on count one as to $2,500, $500 as to count two. And you do qualify for the public defender, sir. Would you like for me to appoint a public defender for you? All right, I'll do that. You're out on bond on a cocaine possession charge and drug paraphernalia. I'll take no action on those cases. There's a no contact? Really? Let me put that on there. No contact with the victim as well. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Trayvon Russ.
Mr. Russ, you got some failures to appear in Division 11. It says you failed to show up for a trial management conference on August the 30th of last year. That court issued a capias, set your bond at no bond as to each count, pending further order of that court. Now, did you have an attorney in this case? PD? Okay, regional conflict, okay. So that's who you're gonna need to speak to now. You'll be held no bond pending further order of that court. Good luck.
That's what I said. You still see us? Oh. Really? We go back? I thought he had RCC. Can we double, I'm gonna double check. I don't want him to.
If he doesn't, I'll appoint the office of the public defender for him.
Seems as though it would be RCC as his designation is C.
Mm-hmm. Because I believe we, yeah, order on motion to withdraw as counsel. RCC was appointed.
Okay. Let's show that he's represented by Regional Conflicts Council. Good afternoon.
Oh, no, it's, sorry, I'm sorry. Motion to withdraw. I don't know, Your Honor. I can't tell. It's saying motion to withdraw as counsel for defendant is hereby granted and attorney.
That was on failures to appear, right? Correct. What I'll do is I'll appoint your office, and then if it turns out that he does have regional conflict counsel, your office can just withdraw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How about that, Ann? Does that work for you? Oh, yeah. Solve every problem there is. What's your name, sir?
My name, sir, is Lee Antonio Span Jr.
All right, Mr. Span.
Sir, would you mind, please, helping me out because I don't understand why I'm here.
I'm gonna tell you.
All right.
Give me a minute, and I'll tell you why you're here. You, pursuant to a warrant, you're charged with petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions, so it's charged as a felony. That sets your bond at $2,500. Give me a minute, and I'll tell you where it happened. The Walgreens at 5501 South Kirkman Road. And then there's a second case, also charging petty theft, also with a bond of $2,500. And that is the Walgreens, same store. 7 boxes of liquor. So it's 2 warrants for petty theft at a Walgreens store with a $2,500 bond on each. No return to the scene of the alleged offense, that being the Walgreens store or stores as the case may be. And you do qualify for the public defender, so I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
So this is a new case, sir?
Huh?
This is a new case?
Yeah, they're new pursuant to the warrants.
What about my...
I'm gonna let you talk to your attorney about the other part of it.
The new warrants today. All of this is yours.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
David Taylor.
Mr. Taylor, you're being held on a charge of possession of MDMA, ecstasy. Do you understand that charge?
Yes.
All right, sir. Looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like to have me appoint a public defender for you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. I do find probable cause on the charge. I'll stay your bond at $1,000. And then you're out on bond on basically the same charge from March of this year. I'll take no action on that.
Your Honor, Watkins, Eddie refused.
And defense will waive.
All right. Eddie Watkins. Well, we got several cases here. Let's see what we got. We got possession or grand theft third-degree motor vehicle. That's in Division 13. Then we have possession of ecstasy, possession of cannabis, possession of drug paraphernalia. That's in Division 17. And then we have driving while license suspended, which is in Division 85. Having spent some time reading these affidavits, I do find probable cause on the grand theft third-degree motor vehicle. Bond is stated at $2,500. The possession of MDMA, $1,000, $100 each on the cannabis and paraphernalia. And we'll make it $100 on the driving while license suspended. And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him. Yes, sir. What's your name?
Michael Williams?
Michael Williams.
Yes, sir.
Michael Wayne Williams. Now, that Wayne Williams, that was a pretty infamous name some years ago. Do you remember that up in Atlanta?
Yes, ma'am, I remember you.
The guy that was killing all the children? Name was Wayne Williams?
Yeah, I knew, yes, sir.
Yeah. And he looked like the guy you used to beat up all the time in junior high school, but
Nah, that ain't me.
I know it's not you.
No, sir.
He's in prison up there. Mr. Williams, the paperwork I have says a warrant was issued for your arrest for failure to register as you're required to do. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I want to do it.
Don't try to explain it, just
Yes, sir.
tell me if you understand it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, and a warrant was issued, and whoever signed the warrant decided I could make the decision, so, okay. I'm gonna set your bond on this at $500.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna order that you register, make your report
Yes, sir.
Immediately upon your release from jail.
Yes, sir.
And you got, because on top of everything else, you got to also report this arrest as a change of address,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'm appointing the public defender for you.
Well,
There are two separate cases here, by the way, and I'll appoint the public defender for you on both of them.
yes, sir.
All right, good luck.
Your Honor, Williams Teixeira, he bonded.
All right. You know what you were saying? Yeah, there are two different case numbers in there that I saw. Okay. Maybe the other one's just a misnomer. Who really knows? Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
Swan Wilson, good afternoon.
All right, Mr. Wilson. The charges are trafficking in morphine, more than 28 grams, possession of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance with an intent to sell, possession of cannabis under 20 grams, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting without violence. Now, probable cause was found on all those things by the judge who signed the warrant. That don't look a thing like you. Not even a little bit. So the warrant sets your bonds on count one at $50,000, count 2, 3, $150 each. Count 4, 5, and 6 are $100 each for a total of $50,000, $50,600. And it looks like you qualify for the public defender. Would you like to have me appoint the public defender, sir?
Yes, at this moment I will.
All
Also,
right,
I got
I'll go ahead and appoint the public defender for you.
no action in all these cases. Self-trafficking. Same one. Self-trafficking is the one that we took. Morphine. Just, yeah, it's right there. This is what PTR showed. They printed this for me. Also,
Meaning they didn't file on the others? Oh, State, did you file on, the remaining counts? Let me just double check.
besides trafficking.
The only thing, I don't know if you just filed on the trafficking.
That was on January 5th, I think.
Yep, he is correct. Your Honor, I would ask for an ROR on the counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
State hasn't filed on any of those?
No, it states no action. They only filed the trafficking.
Okay. ROR is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
You see the same?
So your bond is $50,000.
Last thing, Your Honor, I just want to know, where can I receive my original A form?
Your what?
The original A form, the original affidavit. This is just a copy of the warrant. I was transferred from Seminole County. I've been.
You want the affidavit that
With
was
the narrative.
presented to the judge to get
The
the
actual
warrant
narrative.
signed? It's in the system.
Yeah, I would like a copy of that, please.
Your attorney can dig that out for you.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
My name is Billy Wright.
Mr. Wright, you are charged with possession of MDMA, which is a felony, and also having an open container of alcohol, which is a misdemeanor. Do you understand those charges?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. You do qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint them for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll appoint the PD for you on both cases. As to the possession of MDMA, I'll stay your bond finding probable cause for that charge at $1,000, and let's make it $50 on the open container.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Good luck. That it? We're done.
Okay, sir, you've been picked up on a charge, violation of probation. It's an active warrant out of Osceola County. There is no bond on that. We'll let them.
Señor, usted fue detenido debido a un incumplimiento de libertad vigilada del condado de Osceola. Le vamos a dejar saber que usted está aquí presente
We'll let them know when you're ready for pickup.
y cuando lo vengan a buscar.
But if I could have him state his name and date of birth, please.
Por favor, dígame su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento despacio y en voz alta.
Thank you, sir.
José Rafael Guerrada Flores, 115 of 74.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Next court date, June 8th, in courtroom 5B at 8:05 a.m.
My apologies, Madam Clerk. Could you kindly repeat that?
Yes, next court date, June 8th, in courtroom 5B at 8:05 a.m.
Próxima comparecencia, 8 de junio, sala 5B, 8:05 de la mañana.
Oh, you can have a seat, sir.
Puede tomar asiento, caballero.
Thank you. Next case is 23 CF 1586, Jose Ortiz de Habla.
PD appointed.
¿Se le designa el defensor público?
President approaching.
Sir, you've been picked up on charges including grand theft auto and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Señor, usted fue detenido por hurto mayor de automóvil y posesión de parafernalia de drogas.
Please state your name and date of birth.
Por favor, dígame su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento. Despacio, voz alta. José Ortiz Diabla, 9th of January 77.
Thank you.
Gracias.
I do find probable cause for both of the offenses, and the bond will be set at $2,000 for the first and $500 for the second.
Determino que existe indicios razonables para ambos cargos. El primer cargo tiene una fianza programada de $2,000, el segundo en $500.
Thank you, sir. You have an additional case, so just stay there.
Señor, que usted también tiene un caso adicional, por favor, espere un momento.
The next case is 2023 CT 2427.
22CT-2427.
For this, you've been picked up for driving with a suspended license, second offense.
Ese caso es conducir con licencia suspendida, segunda ocasión.
After reviewing the affidavit, I do find probable cause,
Después de revisar la affidavit, determino que existen indicios razonables
and the bond will be set at $500.
y la fianza será programada en $500.
Thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Gracias, caballero. Voy a tomar asiento.
Next court date for 23 CF 1586 on demand and for 23 CT 2427, if still in jail, June 8th, if out June 14th, in courtroom 4A at 8:15 a.m.
Próxima comparecencia en el caso 1586 cuando sea programado, en el caso 2427, 8 de junio si permanece detenido, 14 de junio a las 8:15 de la mañana en la sala 4A si está bajo libertad.
Next case is 23 CF 1531. Guillermo Rivera Caicedo.
PD appointed.
Se le designa el defensor público.
Good afternoon. Sir, you've been picked up on 2 charges, felony battery and a straight battery.
Señor, usted ha sido detenido en 2 cargos, agresión física, delito mayor y otro cargo de agresión física.
After reviewing the affidavit, I do find probable cause for both.
Después de
And
revisar el affidavit, determino que existen indicios razonables para ambos cargos.
the bond will be set at $2,500 for the first, $500 for the second, and you do qualify for pretrial release.
Las fianzas serán programadas $2,500 para el primer cargo, $500 en el segundo cargo, y usted reúne requisitos para el programa de libertad provisional.
The conditions are that you are to have no contact whatsoever with the victim, Rosa Hernandez Glendo.
No se le permitirá contacto en absoluto con la víctima, Rosa Hernández Glendo.
No contact means no physical contact, no phone contact, no email contact, no text contact, no social media contact. Do you understand, sir?
Eso quiere decir que no se le permite contacto físico, por teléfono, por correo electrónico, por texto o redes sociales, ningún contacto en absoluto. ¿Usted entiende, caballero?
Yo entiendo.
I understand.
Thank you. And no return to the address 4049 China Berry Court in Kissimmee.
Y tampoco se le permite regresar a la dirección de 4049 China Berry Court en Kissimmee.
Okay. Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Gracias, caballero. Puede tomar asiento.
Next court date on demand.
Próxima comparecencia cuando sea programada.
The next case is 2023 CT 2428. Victor Urbina. State your name and date of birth, sir.
Por favor, dígame su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento despacio y en voz alta, por favor. Clarification. ¿Me dijo 9/12 de qué año?
Thank you.
Víctor Alfonso Urbina, 12th of September 1992.
Okay. Sir, you've been picked up on a charge of driving while under the influence.
Señor, usted ha sido detenido por un cargo de conducir bajo efectos.
After reviewing the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause.
Después de revisar el arresto, determino que existen indicios razonables.
The bond is set at 500 and you do not qualify for pretrial release.
La fianza será programada en $500 y usted no reúne requisitos para el programa provisional.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Gracias, caballero. Puede tomar asiento.
Next court date if still in jail, June 8th, if out, July 28th, in courtroom 5B at 8:30 a.m.
Próxima comparecencia si permanece detenido, 8 de junio si está bajo libertad, 28 de julio a las 5B a las 8:05 de la mañana.
Next case, 2023 CT 2430. Giselle Velez Santos.
Tonight above guidelines. President Ambrosio.
Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Por favor, dígame su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento, despacio y en voz alta.
Yacel Omid Vélez Santos.
Señor, despacito, por favor, repita.
Yacel Omid Vélez Santos.
Yacel Omid Vélez Santos.
Sir, you've been picked up on the charge of driving with a suspended license.
Señor, usted ha sido detenido por un cargo de conducir con licencia suspendida.
And you do qualify for direct pretrial release. The court is,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, go ahead.
sorry. You do qualify for direct pretrial release, and the court is granting that.
Usted tiene derecho y requisitos para el programa de libertad provisional. El tribunal se lo va a conceder.
I do find probable cause,
Y determino que existen indicios razonables.
and the condition of your release is you are absolutely not to drive on a suspended.
Como condición de su libertad se le prohíbe en absoluto conducir sin tener licencia válida.
Without a license. Do you understand?
¿Entendió usted, caballero?
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, caballero.
Next court date, July 28th, in courtroom 5B at 8:30 a.m.
Próxima comparecencia, 28 de julio, a las 5 a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Next case, 2023 CF 1591. Yaslin Cordero Teste.
PD appointed.
Se le designa el defensor público.
State your name and date of birth, sir.
Por favor, dígame su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento, despacio, voz alta.
Yaslan Cordero Teste. 28 de noviembre del 99.
Thank you.
Yaslan Cordero Teste, 28th of November, 99.
You've been picked up on 2 charges. The first is burglary of an unoccupied vehicle, unarmed. The second is petty theft.
Usted ha sido detenido en 2 cargos. Primero es allanamiento de un transporte. El segundo es hurto menor.
After reviewing the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause for both.
Después de revisar el acta acusatoria, determino que existen indicios razonables para ambos cargos.
The bond for the first will be set at $3,500, and the bond for the second at $250.
La fianza será programada en $3,500 en el primer cargo y $250 en el segundo.
You do not qualify for pretrial release.
Usted no reúne requisitos para el programa de libertad provisional.
Thank you, sir. You can be seated.
Gracias, caballero. Puede tomar asiento.
Next court date on demand.
Próxima comparecencia cuando sea programada.
Next case, 2023 CF 1499.
PD appointed.
Se le designa el defensor público.
Juan Manuel Estrada Lugo.
President Ambrosio.
Manuel Estrada Lugo.
Thank you.
24 de abril del 80.
My apologies, Your Honor. The interpreter is hearing the defendant, but I did not hear Your Honor ask a question.
Sir, state your name and your date of birth.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento, despacio y en voz alta.
Juan Manuel Estrada Lugo. 24 de abril del 80.
Juan Manuel Estrada Lugo, 24th of April, 1980.
Thank you. Sir, you've been picked up on 3 charges. The first is possession of controlled substance without a prescription. The second is drug trafficking for oxycodone or morphine. And the third is possession of drug paraphernalia. Based on the review of the charging affidavit,
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I'm so sorry, Mr.
worries.
Interpreter.
No worries, Your Honor. Ha sido detenido en 3 cargos de sustancia ilícita, incluyendo oxicodón sin receta, traficar en oxicodón y posesión de parafernalia de drogas.
Based on review of the charging affidavit, I do find probable cause for all the charges.
Al revisar el acta acusatoria, determino que existen indicios razonables en todos los cargos.
And the bonds will be set at $1,500 for the first,
Primer cargo tendrá una fianza de $1,500,
$50,000 for the second,
$50,000 para el segundo
and $500 for the third.
y $500 para el
Is there a qualification for pretrial release?
Your Honor, at the time, he was in a hospital, but now that he's out, he may qualify for a bond with pretrial release.
Su señoría, para ese entonces él se encontraba en el hospital, pero ahora que ya ha sido, le han dado de alta, es posible que reúna requisitos para una fianza con libertad provisional.
Okay, does he qualify, ma'am?
Entonces, ¿reúne requisitos?
Yes, Your Honor, it does qualify for a bond with pretrial release.
Sí, su señoría reúne requisitos con una fianza con libertad provisional.
All right. Then the court will grant pretrial release with bond,
Por lo tanto, el tribunal va a conceder libertad provisional con una fianza,
subject to the condition of random urinalysis.
según las condiciones de pruebas de orina al azar.
You want do not consume on there as well? Next court date on demand.
Próxima comparecencia cuando sea ordenada. Muchas gracias.
There's one more.
Mr. Interpreter, if you would announce whether there's anyone else that needs your services.
Certainly, Your Honor. Su atención, por favor, si hay alguna otra persona presente que necesite los servicios del intérprete, por favor, alce la mano en este momento.
Sierra Morales. Sierra Morales Alexander.
He's a warrant. PD appointed.
Se le designa el defensor público.
There we are. Okay, next case, 2020 CF 155.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Alexander Sierra Morales. Sir, your name and date of birth, please?
Caballero, su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento, despacio, voz alta.
Alexander Rufet Sierra Morales, 08-2198.
Thank you.
Alexander Lufet Sierra Morales, 08-2198.
Sir, you've been picked up on a violation of probation warrant, and there's no bond for that.
Señor, usted ha sido detenido debido a una orden de arresto por incumplimiento de libertad vigilada. No tiene derecho a fianza en este momento.
We'll let them know when you're ready for pickup.
Le dejaremos saber que usted está listo para que lo vengan a buscar.
Next court date, June 5th, in courtroom 5A at 8:45 a.m.
Próxima comparecencia el 5 de junio, sala 5A, a las 8:45 de la mañana.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter, for your help.
You're welcome,
free to
Your
go.
Honor. Have a good afternoon. Have a
You
nice
as
weekend.
well. Thank you. All right. Next case is 96893 out of Polk. That is Jackie Jeffries Leonice. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Okay, Your Honor, she's not here right now, so we're just gonna bring her up.
Okay. All right, next case is Trey Stauffer. Out of Polk. Sir, your name and date of birth? Okay. Sir, you've been picked up in a warrant out of Polk County. There's no bond for that. We'll let them know when you're ready for pickup.
This one has a purge amount. Is there a purge on that? Oh, yeah, $38.78. Yeah, and if he has the ability to bond, he can. If not, then he might.
Okay. Sir, there is a purge amount on your underlying case. It's $30,038.78. Yes. Once the purge is paid, yes. Okay. Thank you. You can have a seat. Christopher Stebbins. Good afternoon. Your name and date of birth, sir? I'm having a hard time hearing you, sir. Speak up right into the microphone. Thank you. Sir, you've been picked up on a warrant out of Polk County. There's no bond on that, and we'll let them know when you're ready for pickup. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a bond on that. There's a purge in the amount of $17,609.93. Upon payment of that, you would be released. Thank you. Next case is 2023 CF 1572. Michael Galucci.
PD appointed.
Okay, sir, state your name and date of birth. Thank you, sir. Counsel, did you have something to address on this file?
Once we deal with probable cause, Judge, the state would like to be heard on the amount of bond.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. It's a warrant, so we don't need to deal with the probable cause, so whenever we go to the amount.
Right, okay, thank you, counsel. Sir, you were arrested and a warrant was issued with respect to aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. At the time the warrant was issued, PC was already established. And counsel?
Yes, Judge. The state is seeking a $50,000 bond in this case with no contact with the victim and no return to the scene. The state did look up the defendant's criminal history. He has convictions in 2019 for battery, 2018 for failure to register as a sex offender, 2017 for felony battery, 2012 for failure to register as a sex offender, 2011, one case with 2 misdemeanor DV batteries, 2011, another case with a battery and a resisting officer without violence, 2011, another case with a battery conviction, 2009, battery and assault on a law enforcement officer, and 2002, a conviction for a lewd act upon a child. For that, we're asking for a $50,000 bond in this case, Judge.
Thank you. Are the victims the same on the batteries?
I do not believe so, Judge.
Okay. Public defender? Do you wish to be heard? And what's your last name, ma'am?
Acosta.
Acosta, thank you. Go ahead.
So the defense doesn't have any information because it's a warrant, but is requesting due to his inability to pay to have this bond reduced.
Thank you, ma'am. The court does not have any information or evidence on his ability to pay as we sit here today, so the bond will be established at $50,000. And sir, you do not qualify for pretrial release. There will be no contact with the victim, Ms. Talisha Cody, and no return to the address 4131 West Vine Street. No contact means no contact whatsoever, no physical contact, no text contact, no phone contact, no social media contact, and no contact through third party. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Additionally, you will possess no firearms or weapons as a condition. Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Next court date on demand.
Next case, number 23CF689.
No application for this defendant?
George Nathan? Okay. PD has been provisionally appointed for today only. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
George Nathan, 1186.
Thank you. Okay, sir. You've been brought here. An arrest warrant has been issued. At the time of that, probable cause was already established on the following charges that were filed by the state: scheme to defraud, grand theft, and failure to deliver hired vehicle. Those 3 charges. You do not qualify for pretrial release, and bond will be set at $10,000, $5,000, and $1,000 respectively. You are not to return to the rental depot. Okay, thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Next court date, June 5th, in courtroom 5A at 8:45 a.m. And Judge, just to verify bonds, 10,000, 5,000, 1,000?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next case, 2023 MM1248,
PD appointed.
Kendra Baranek.
Your Honor, she's in medical. We just want to confirm that she's there, and then we want to reset then the initial appearance for her.
Thank you. I'll wait for confirmation. Next case, 2023 MM1249, Howard Bohannon.
PD appointed.
Sir, your name and date of birth?
Howard Bohannon, 12/17/1982.
Thank you. Sir, you've been picked up on charges resisting arrest without violence. After reviewing the affidavit, the court does find probable cause. You do qualify for direct pretrial release, so the court is granting that, sir. Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
Next case, 2023 MM1250, Ryan Kane.
PD appointed.
Ryan Kane, 7/18/88.
Thank you. Sir, you've been picked up on charges of possession and use, possession or use of drug paraphernalia. After reviewing the charging affidavit, the court finds probable cause. And the bond will be set at $500 with pretrial release with bond of $500. Thank you, sir. Yeah, stay there. You have one more. I'm sorry. All right, next case is 2023 CF1583. The charges here are driving with a suspended license, 3rd violation, and attached license not assigned. license plate. Bond will be set at $2,500 for the first charge and $250. The court does find probable cause. Pretrial release with bond. Thank you, sir.
Next court date for 23 MM 1250 and 23 CF 1583 on demand.
Next case, 2023 MM 1251. Nicole Chambers.
PD appointed.
Ma'am, your name and date of birth, please.
Nicole Chambers, February 677.
Thank you. Ma'am, you've been picked up on a charge of battery. Court finds after reviewing the charging affidavit, there is probable cause, and your bond, you qualify for pretrial release with a bond of $1,000 with the following conditions. You are to have no contact with the victim, Mr. Harold McKinney. You are to possess no weapons or firearms, and you are not to return to the address 1250 Pecan Street, Kissimmee.
So that's her resident, Your Honor. Do we know that the victim wanted contact with her? The victim has an answer?
Was there a question?
And that's, your resident, right? So, Your Honor, we're requesting right now at least one-time return so she can, with the police, so she can get her belongings.
Yes, the court will grant one-time return with law enforcement to get your personal belongings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
Your Honor, Crystal Osborne, pretrial release. Michael Gallucci, you previously called him, advised he did not qualify for pretrial release, but I just want to put on record, he does qualify with the bond.
Who?
Which, Michael,
How long ago did we call him? Okay, he's at the beginning.
That's the one we just did for 50,000.
Okay. Pretrial release for Mr. Michael Gallucci with the bond set at $50,000. Everything else remains the same. Thank you. Next case, 2023 MM 1252.
PD appointed.
Elliot Davila. Sir, your name and date of birth, please. Thank you. Sir, you've been picked up on charges of violation of your pretrial release conditions related to an underlying charge of domestic violence battery. The court sets bond at $1,000 for this charge. The court finds probable cause based on review of the charging affidavit, and further finds that as to the case 23 MM 1158, that bond is revoked and set at $0. Thank you, sir.
Judge, did you want to add any restrictions on the case for today?
One moment. Okay. No contact with the victim, Vanessa Cruz, and no return to the travel lodge. Thank you. No contact meaning no physical, no phone, no text, no social media, no third-party contact. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, can I ask one quick question? We have a newborn baby. How would I go about fixing this? Because, I mean, we haven't.
You can talk to your lawyer about that. The court has no control. Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
Twenty 2023 CF 1584, Alan Fuller.
No application for this defendant. This is a private attorney, Your Honor. That's the information that I have here.
Alan Fuller, 61791.
Mariella, do you have any information?
Do you have
about
any
a private-
information?
I don't have an
Private
NOA on
counsel?
file yet, not for this case.
Sir, do you have an attorney on this case representing you?
When I got locked up, I had people email him, so yes, he is. I just haven't got in contact with him.
Okay. Would you like to proceed today, or would you rather this be reset for a later date so that you can have counsel present?
I'd like to proceed today.
Okay. All right, sir, you've been picked up on 2 charges. The first is domestic violence battery by strangulation. The second is just a straight battery. The court does find, based on review of the charging affidavit, that there's probable cause. You do not qualify for pretrial release, and the bonds will be set at $2,500 and $500 for the second, respectfully. You are to have no contact with the victim, Ms. Kimberly Bonanno, and you are not to return to the address 814 Mountbatten Lane, Kissimmee. No contact means no contact whatsoever. No contact physically, by phone, by text, by social media, or third party. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am. I do live at the residence, and my son, which isn't her son, is at the residence as well. And on top of that, we actually work together. So I'm actually doing everything I can to separate myself away from.
You can talk to your lawyer about that. Thank you, sir.
Next court date on demand.
Next case, 2023 CT 2425, Marcus Herond.
No application for this defendant.
He bought it, Your Honor.
Okay, okay, thank you. Next case, 2023 MM 1253,
PD appointed.
Katie Neff.
Your Honor, she's in the cage. Can you allow us a minute so they can bring her over?
Okay.
Hi, ma'am. Hi.
Good afternoon. Your name and date of birth, ma'am?
My name is Katie Scarlett Knapp, and my birthday is December 29th, 1990.
Thank you. Ma'am, you've been picked up on a charge of criminal mischief. Court does find probable cause based on the review of the charging affidavit, and your bond is set at $500. You do not qualify for pretrial release. Thank you, ma'am. You may be seated.
Next court date on demand.
Could we get a no contact, no return in that case, Judge?
Okay. Ma'am, you're not to return to the address 9009 Wildflower Lane, and you are to have no contact with the victim, Felipe Seraphim. Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Could you please repeat?
Yes.
the last
You,
part?
yes, you are to have no contact with the victim, Felipe Seraphim, and you are not to return to the address 9009 Wildflower Lane. Thank you.
Next court date on demand.
Your Honor, can we have one-time return
Please.
to get her belongings?
May I say something as well? Would it be, would it be okay to just go there and give things a week? WE, to see how things go.
Counsel, you're asking for a one-time return with law enforcement to collect belongings?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, you were asking me something?
Were you requesting a one-time return with law enforcement for personal belongings? Okay, granted.
Excuse me, may I add something? Please. You can hear me?
I can.
Okay. Is there any way that I may return there, at least for a week, okay?
No. You may go back one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Thank you, ma'am. You may be seated. Next case, 2023 MM 1254, Jonathan O'Rourke.
PD appointed.
Your name and date of birth, sir?
Jonathan O'Rourke, 8/12/85, ma'am.
Thank you. You've been picked up on a charge of battery. The court, after reviewing the charging affidavit, does find probable cause and is granting pretrial release with a bond of $500 on that charge. So you're to have no contact whatsoever with the victim, Jamie Elizabeth Howell, and you are not to return to the address 4018 West Vine Street, Kissimmee, Florida. Excuse me, sir. You are not to return to that address. No contact with the victim means no contact whatsoever. No physical contact, no phone contact, no email contact, no social media or third-party contact. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I just had a question. That is actually my physical residence. She doesn't live there. Me and my son live there.
I don't have any information on that, sir. You can talk to your counsel.
Defense requesting at least one time return with the law enforcement to get the belonging until he can solve the issue.
Granted. One-time return with law enforcement to collect your personal belongings only. Thank you, sir.
Next court date on demand.
Judge, could we recall Katie Neff? I realize I read this incorrectly. I believe the place that we ordered no return to is her residence and that the offense location is a different residence.
Just a moment. Second to the last.